Oh yeah, so we live. We back. Straight talk, no chase. We went on a little live before everybody got their headphones on, but it's all good.
Oh shit, we live?
We live.
I never wear headphones.
Damn, you can't hear this nice music in the background, can you?
Okay.
You can't, but you gotta be able to talk on the rhythm.
What?
You never know how we like, yeah, and on the other hand, this note.
Oh, man.
All right, so we back. It's another edition of Straight Talk, No Chase. We're a little thrown off because Juiceman Dan isn't here to fuck the intro up. So it works for us. We used to him alley-ooping it, and then we slam dunk it after, but he's not here. Shout out to him. It's probably something to do with his wife, you know.
No. He's making juice deliveries. Shout out to I Am Whole.
Yeah.
Get your motherfucking juice and all that other shit.
If y'all didn't know, everybody on this set is an entrepreneur in their own right. Make sure y'all look them up. Koosta. Shout out to Tripp. We was at Red Rocks this week. Had a very successful party at Red Rocks.
Definitely.
Black Alley and the Fix. It was a very good look.
Nice.
He left me outside for 15 minutes. He had me looking like a scrub, but it's all right though. I still came in and got some drinks and shit. That's my man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You ain't had to have me looking like that though.
I'm feeling real good this week, man. I'm feeling real good this week. I finally found out who I am. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Ever since a child, man. ever since I was a child.
Hold on. Everybody ain't introduced themselves. This in the building.
That's right. That's true. I feel good. Miss Maria, how you doing today?
Hi, fellas. I'm good. Y'all know me, Maria. Also known as Miss Smith. Y'all ask me anything.
Concrete Conversations in the building.
Oh, ready. How you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm feeling great today.
Button up to the top as
Right.
usual.
Man, you know, your man button up. I'm in the building, you know, your man already. You know, I'm feeling good like my man no Tripp over here, man. I'm feeling real good, man.
Starched up and everything. I see you over there, player.
He got a date after the show. I could tell when he got a date.
Nah,
He bring the good shirt out when he got a date after the
I
show.
just got my bed after the show. Get some rest, man. Football season's coming up. College football, what I'm excited about. So, yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So,
Shout out to Rich's Clothing in the building.
CJ,
in the building.
how you feeling?
Feeling alright.
You on, bro.
I'm feeling alright, man. I like the plane I'm operating on lately.
Okay.
The plane I've been operating on lately. I'm feeling good.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Definitely good to see you.
Is that a paper plane?
Oh, no. I'm in the level. The level I've been operating on
Paper
lately.
plane on this level. I love that. I love it.
Cool. How you feeling?
Oh. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling all right. Just getting ready to take on some new endeavors, man. That's it.
How your balls feel, man?
My balls feel great. I'm high.
Pause.
They're tingling, actually.
This man was attacked. This man was attacked
You
by
gotta pause that. Whoa.
This man was attacked by a 120-pound Rottweiler recently. He was bit in the balls.
It wasn't recently. It was a couple years ago. But yeah, the dog bit me in the balls and ripped my nutsack open, bro.
Oh my God.
Big time. I don't feel like telling the story, but you know, maybe we can listen to it a little later. I got a YouTube video, you know, explaining the whole ordeal. And this little white guy pulled 16 stitches out my nutsack.
Wow.
I want to know.
I would have requested
Did you
a
kill the
female
dog?
nurse.
I beat the shit out of the dog. Oh, excuse me. When we were fighting, she jumped up and grabbed me on my arm like that, man.
Damn, you got beat up by a bitch?
She got me in my balls and arms.
Damn.
Well,
I mean, it actually was a bitch. I'm not calling the dog out of his name.
It's a female
Well,
dog.
the dog and the frog was friends. We set the frog on fire.
I hear that.
Why didn't you run, Koosta?
I did. It's a dog we talking about.
It's hard to run with a dog biting your balls.
So on record, Koosta is extremely slow. He couldn't outrun the dog.
Nah, nigga. That motherfucker was on my ass.
He's a survivor. No, he was on your balls.
On my nuts.
Did you try to put the dog in a leg lock? How did he bite your balls?
A leg lock. That's your move, man. When you get your ass hit.
I want to figure out how the fuck how does a dog bite your balls
fuck
though?
It. I'll tell an abbreviated version of the story. All right, so look. We watched the Floyd fight or whatever, right? So we got all drunk watching the fight. At the end of the night, we were still drinking. We had some bottles left over, so we sitting outside drinking. And
was this probably De La Hoya back then?
It was either De La Hoya or Mosley, one of the two.
Shout out to Koosta. This is the most he's ever talked on the show.
Yeah. I told you I'm back. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, end of the night, we sitting outside drinking outside the garage. My man had this big ass house in the country and shit. So a frog just comes out of nowhere and just starts hopping in front of us. We're like, what the fuck is this doing with this frog, right? So I'm like, man, light his ass on fire, right? You know, just being drunk and stupid. So my man, Big Tim, he country as shit. He goes in the fucking garage and gets a gas can and a fucking lighter and comes back, right? So I'm looking like, hold up, nigga. So all of a sudden, next thing I know, he pours the gas down and drops the flame, and that jump just goes whoosh. So this frog is inferno shit, like just jumping around, cooking, jumping. We die. We drunk and stupid. But the whole time the dogs are behind the gate, they're in the backyard, and they watching all of this shit. And it was Honey and it was Caesar. They were two big ass Rottweilers. Honey was probably about 125, 130. Caesar was 140, solid, big ass nigga. So all the shit ends, frog dies, he crispy as a motherfucker. They go to let the dogs in, because we about to go in the house, it's like 5 in the morning. Go to let the dogs in, boom. So my man goes and opens the gate. But, I can hear Honey grunting, right? She grunting behind the gate and shit. So, she was mad about something, but, they dogs and shit, they was fired, they excited.
Okay.
But I wasn't thinking nothing of that. Open the gate, man. The bitch runs out. I see her, right? I was like, oh. She looked serious as shit. She ran straight up to me. So I said, oh. Now I heard that she was like, I jumped up. No, I jumped up, bro. I jumped high because I was scared, bro. I don't even know how high I jumped. This bitch jumped up midair. Bow! Caught me right on the motherfucking nuts, bro. But I didn't even know this until after the fight's over. I'm going to tell y'all that. After. So she jumps up. I feel her clip me. Boom! So I'm like, oh shit. So I get to running. I'm running and shit. I'm running around this fucking truck, right, in circles. This dog is on my ass. I'm knocking over trash cans and shit.
Jump on the truck.
I ran over the top of the truck, but she was on my ass. It was adrenaline pumping, so I wasn't even thinking like that. I'm just trying to get away. So I ran over the top of the, knocked the trash cans over, ran around the joint again, ran over the top of the hood of the joint. I run into the backyard. It's a gate right there with a door and shit. So I run into the backyard, and that's when I realized I got bit. And I was like, damn, but I hadn't really looked at it. I just saw the blood on my shorts and my shits was ripped.
You didn't feel anything like?
When you're fighting, you don't really feel it.
You calm down.
So I stood there. I was like, damn, what the fuck? So I'm looking around, and I look up at the gate, and the fucking bitch is at the gate, bro. So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, hold up, this bitch, she just bit me in my nuts. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, this about to go down. Because, you know what I'm saying, it's nothing stopping her. She not listening to them trying to tell her to stop. Nothing. She's on my ass. She's coming for me. And she ain't, it's a fucking 130-pound dog. So I'm like, fuck it, we gonna fight. I said, fuck it. Dog said, "Rrr." Ran straight down to my shit, bro. The bitch, it was straight bar fight. The bitch jumped up.
It's a straight bar fight.
She caught me right here. Bam. You see them two jumps? They faded now, but it's 1 and 2 right here. That's when she caught me on the arm when she jumped up. Boom, latched on. So she ripping and shit. So I'm boom, punching. I'm punching her. Somehow I got the back of her neck. I grabbed her by the back of her neck like this shit.
Hey, for people who just tuning in, he's talking about a dog, not a woman.
Yeah. Not a woman. So I got her by the back of her neck, and this how much adrenaline rushing, bro. I picked this bitch up, one arm, man. It's a 130-pound dog, like just straight. Boom! I slammed her on her chest, and I put my knee in her back, right? So now she chills, cause I dominated her. Dogs are stupid like that. So Jess comes. That's my man Big Tim White. She called her in the house. Bitch go straight in the house, right? So I'm like, fuck. The bitch, like, I'm fucked up. Now my pants all the way kind of like ripped. So I'm seeing the blood running down my leg.
Damn.
Arm all ripped up and shit.
Can you have kids?
I'll get to that. All right. Arm all ripped up and shit, right? So now I'm looking, I'm bloody and shit. I look back up at the gate. Other nigga at the gate, bro. The bigger dog.
Oh, man.
He just standing there. I'm like, oh shit, right? So I'm like, I ain't even really got no gas left to fight no more. He bigger and stronger. So he just walks in the house all of a sudden. So I'm like, all right, cool. All right, now this is when the fucked up shit happens. So I walk back out to the front. They get the dogs in the house. Everybody like, shit, you know, yada, yada, yada. I look down. I open my pants up, bro. I open my pants up. I look down, bro. And
I'm not prepared for this.
Wow. Nigga, it was like, you can see, it's like a white string and a little ball on the end, bro.
Oh.
For real.
God.
Only one of them came out, but.
Oh, no.
Bruh, the shit was outside the motherfucker. Saved blood everywhere. So I'm like, oh, and at that point, I'm like, I'm going in the shot. I'm sweating that shit. Let me take a shot. I'm sweating shit. I'm thinking I'm about to die.
The blood of Jesus.
Oh, I got a weak stomach. I wasn't prepared for that.
I ain't gonna make it till. I ain't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? He big, strong country motherfucker. This nigga picked me up over his shoulder. We throw me in the trunk, right? I'm in the back of his truck. I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna make it. I don't remember nothing after that. We in the truck. I just remember I woke up and it was 4 white people and a police officer. And they was all looking at me like, I was just like, you know, when you wake up like that, you're like, what the fuck just happened? But then the shit came back to me. I'm like, damn, that dog bit me. And I looked down at my nuts, and that shit looked like Frankenstein, bro.
No.
They put 16 stitches in my nutsack, bro. They had to put my nut back in the sack and stitch the motherfucker up, bro. Luckily, it was only a skin wound, no structural damage, right? And I'll tell you a funny story about that. But
I need this to turn to a funny story.
Yeah. So look, there we go. All right, so look, all right, yeah, I'll tell you the funny story now. I didn't know if my dick worked afterwards, right? So I had to get an experimental blowjob to see if I could still bust a nut.
From who?
Let's not worry about that.
Oh, wow.
I mean, at the
You should
hospital.
have said something.
At the hospital.
You can't lead out there. Let's not worry about that.
Oh, I'm about to
So
say.
we talk about today's topic. You can't lead that out
Right.
there like that.
Yeah. Good Lord,
Funny
man.
story about that.
Good
But
Lord.
then the worst part about this was the 3 weeks later, because the fact that the skin had absolutely separated, they couldn't put those dissolvable stitches in there. They had to put the hard stitches in, right? So there's 16 of these big bitches, right? And they like rebar, like steel rebar. Imagine steel rebar being in your nuts. Every time you move, fucking like a hard ass piece of plastic, you know, sticking in the bottom of your shaft. Shit was rough, right? So I was a social worker at the time too. So I'm walking around seeing these
Nigga, I be
motherfuckers
at
limping and
bed
shit.
rest.
My coworkers like, what happened? I got bit in the fucking balls, bro. Like, damn, why you at work? I was like, I gotta get that motherfucking check. But anyways, I had to go back 3 weeks later and get these fucking stitches taken out, right? And it was this little short, fat, weird little white guy, right? He was cool.
Is that the one you got the blowjob from?
Nah, fuck you.
Mom.
An experimental one?
Man, this motherfucker sat there and laughed and giggled while he plucked these 16
I would have
stitches.
asked for a male,
Right, every
female
one-
nurse, man.
Every one of them Jones was like, imagine getting like a flu shot in your nuts.
Wow.
16 times. Well, actually, it was
I
like
never-
32
I don't wanna imagine
times.
I
Because
never had a
each
flu
stitch
shot,
has
so-
2 entry spots. So it was like, bing, bing.
I mean,
bing, bing,
my only thing is like I don't
bing,
understand
Nigga,
why you didn't
I almost
ask
came
for
to
a
tears in that
female.
jump.
I don't want no man playing with my balls. I don't give a fuck what the setting is.
That's what happened.
Give me a female. They got females everywhere in there.
That's what happened. I guess that's an early Koosta's Corner. I still got some heat for y'all at the end of the show.
Shit, that's what's up. That's what's up.
So I'm completely thrown the fuck off.
Yeah, how do we
Well, how do we transition back to
These
that?
nuts are okay. My dick is in perfectly good working order. Okay?
And for the ladies out there watching, Koosta is single. He got a good story for you.
and he can still have babies.
He'll still shoot your club up.
Terrible.
Straight up.
That's how went down.
Hey, bud, we could have lost you, bro. I'm glad you made it through
Yeah,
that
almost
situation.
died.
I think Dan downstairs. Can somebody go get him? Please.
I whooped the shit out that dog though. I won the fight.
I hear you.
All right. Note to everybody. Was it a pit bull?
Nah, it was a Rottweiler.
All right. So note to everybody out there, Rottweilers can jump. Don't try to jump over a Rottweiler and they rip your nutsack out.
Yes, they
Word
will.
to the kids.
All right.
That's not what you want.
Let's get to the business, man. Let's get to the business today, man. So like I was saying earlier, man, it's been a real interesting week for me. I decided to take a new step in my life. Everybody. Yeah. And it's based on a feeling I've been having, and I shared it on Facebook earlier this week. A feeling I've been having ever since I was a kid. From like the age of 4 or 5 years old, I've always felt better than everyone else. When I was in elementary school eating school lunch,
Oh shit! Not you.
I used to pretend that the fish sticks was caviar
Stop it.
and lobster.
You got a very great imagination, sir.
And that's why this week I found out who the fuck I was, man.
Megamind is in the building.
Right. Oh my God. But look. I want everybody to know this, man, because I think this is really important.
What up?
I'm a trans millionaire.
Transmillionaire.
I'm a trans millionaire, man.
How you feel about that, DeMarcus Ware?
I feel like I'm a millionaire.
You gotta build.
I feel like there's nothing that anyone can tell me at this point about my life. You can't tell me that I'm not a millionaire because that's the way I feel.
1 2 1 2.
I feel you.
You know?
I totally agree.
I'm trans balling.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is Straight Talk No Chase.
Nigga, you late as fuck.
Man.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
That nigga look like Tim Hardaway, man.
Ken looks like a dad.
Fuck happened to your
Oh
head?
my God, you so look like a dad.
I know, it gave me that
real
grown ass
life
man look. That's what I needed.
Everybody go on Juiceman Dan's page. He actually did a live video of him
Hey, that shit
shaving
was
his
They
head.
fired me up for 3 days straight.
He might have deleted it. I don't know.
Nah, I kept it up there for the coaching.
Well, it's pure fucking comedy.
It is, man.
Pure comedy.
Yo, what I missed, man? I was watching live and Iku basically has one ball. That's kind of cool.
That's pretty much what we covered.
Yeah. God
Two
damn.
balls.
No.
It has two. He said one was on a string and they strung it back in.
God damn.
Yeah, let's not even rehash that.
Yeah.
Trans-millionaire.
Yeah, we got a trans million in the building.
My shit look regular.
For everybody.
I'm good on visuals, huh?
So, that was alluding to a topic we was kicking around on Facebook every day this week about transgender, transphobia, trans everything.
Yeah, there's an interesting video clip of right wing. I guess he's right wing
He's definitely right wing.
douchebag
Ben
Ben
Shapiro.
Shapiro, who has some interesting things to say about transgenders. Now, me personally, I kind of agree with him. I don't agree with the rest of the shit he says, but I mean, he made perfect sense. I mean, I couldn't argue with the motherfucker. I couldn't find one thing he said wrong.
Can you tell the people what he said?
Well, Mike, if you can hand me that aux cord, we going to a little ghetto today. We ain't got the video up right now, so we gonna play the audio for y'all.
Damn.
All right, I need some headphones.
Yeah, for your nuts. You can't even say these no more. Yeah, say for this nut.
Call me 1 hour Willie. All right, here we go.
All right. Get this party started.
Is it a party?
In the meantime, everybody, if you go on the Straight Talk No Chase page, the video is, or is it only on your page?
It's on my page.
Okay, we'll share it to the Straight Talk page.
Some people don't have privilege when you basically just said that trans people aren't valid. They're not a thing. They're just girls pretending to be boys or boys pretending to be girls.
Okay.
Somebody said
Oh, someone's excited. Okay.
Biological, but gender is a completely different thing.
No, gender is not disconnected from sex. So,
It's not completely disconnected, but it's still a cultural thing. It's still from society. It's
okay, no, it is not in the mind. Okay, you're not a man if you think you're a man. And I didn't say pretending, or if I did, I shouldn't have said pretending. Let me
said
amend.
playing.
Okay, I said a boy who thinks he's a girl. That's the usual phraseology I use. Not playing. I usually say a boy who thinks he's a girl or a girl who thinks he's a boy, which is technically what we're talking about here. As far as the actual psychological issues at play, it used to be called gender dysphoria or gender identity disorder. Now they call it gender dysphoria. The idea that sex or gender are malleable is not true. Okay, and I'm not denying your humanity if you're a transgender person. I am saying that you are not the sex to which you claim to be.
And
you're still a human being, and you're a human being with an issue that I wish you Godspeed in dealing with in whatever way you see fit. But if you are going to dictate to me that I'm supposed to pretend that men are women and women are men, no. My answer is no. I'm not going to modify basic biology because it threatens your subjective sense of what you are.
Okay, but you're still saying these kids should not be accepted because they don't really fit in either place. They can't just
I'm saying that the Boy Scouts have a standard. You must be a biological boy to be a Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
That's also false.
Cohen's ready.
Because this is a very because for all of human history, boy meant boy and girl meant girl. Boy did not mean girl. And if I call you a moose, are you suddenly a moose? Okay, if I redefine our terms. No, yes, that's right. Men and women are a completely different thing. This is true.
Also false.
Have you ever met a man or a woman? They're completely different.
It's not a thing. It's gender. It's not saying you're.
Okay, why is that? I don't understand. Why? Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, I won't ask you how old. I will ask you how old you are. Okay, because you're young enough that it's probably not insulting to ask you. So.
I'm 22, so I'm probably young and naive, right?
No. Why aren't you 60? Why aren't you 60? And why can't you identify as 60? What is the problem with you identifying as 60?
Because it's not the same as gender. You can't just.
You're right. Age is significantly less important than gender. You can't magically change your gender. You can't magically change your sex. You can't magically change your age.
You can still legally change it. People recognize.
You can't legally change your age, by the way.
Obviously, you can change your name, you can change your sex, you can change your identity.
Just because you can do things legally doesn't mean that they are correct biologically. You could do lots of things in the past that were incorrect biologically and correct legally. For a long period of time in the United States, sterilization of the mentally ill took place. That didn't make it okay. Skinner versus Oklahoma.
You agree?
Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote the decision.
I agree with everything you're saying.
I still don't understand how these children that have gender.
It's not a matter of open-minded and accepting. I want them to get treatment that they see fit, but that's not involving me. The idea behind the transgender movement as a civil rights movement is the idea that all of their problems would just go away if I would pretend that they were the sex to which they claim membership. That's nonsense.
That's actually a fact.
The transgender suicide rate is 40%. It is 40%. And according to the Anderson School at UCLA, it makes no difference. There's a study that came out last year. It makes no difference, virtually no difference, statistically speaking, as to whether people recognize you as a transgender person or not, which suggests there's a very high comorbidity between transgenderism, whatever that mental state may be, and suicidality. That has nothing to do with how society treats you.
Everybody Google that study as well, because I looked it up.
I do not think that the discrepancy, first of all, I'm against bullying of any sort, okay? The idea that somebody would beat somebody up is terrible, okay? As somebody who's viciously bullied in high school, I'm not a fan of bullying.
I can tell.
But the idea that the normal suicide rate across the United States is 4%. The suicide rate in the transgender community is 40%. The idea that 36% more transgender people are committing suicide because people are mean to them is ridiculous. It's not true, and it's not backed by any science that anyone can cite.
It is backed by science.
In fact, it's not even true that bullying causes suicide, according to a lot of studies. For example, in the black community, where the idea is supposedly that America is a racist society, blacks are bullied a lot. Okay, in the black community has significantly lower suicide rates than in the white community. In fact, in third world countries, the suicide rate is significantly lower than in first world countries. Suicide actually seems to be a privilege of the upper classes, if you actually look at it from a financial perspective. So the idea that suicidality is directly a result of people like me saying, no, men are not women and women are not men, it's not true. It's also...
So you think it doesn't impact their identity at all, or their depression, or how they feel about themselves?
I think the idea that you're going to sacrifice the entire society's proper definition of sex because you think that there is in legal terms, somebody with an eggshell skull, meaning that somebody who has a pre-existing condition that makes them more susceptible to criticism, that is not a way to run a society. You can't sacrifice truth because some people are going to actually suffer because of the truth. Plus, there's no evidence whatsoever that the suicide rate would go down in the transgender community in any marked way if people just started pretending that men were women and women were men. We're trying that experiment now. We'll find out whether it works. So far, no evidence.
Have you talked to a group of trans people at all instead of this group of like white people?
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm more than happy to talk to a group of any people who will have me, but usually they protest me.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Because he's a bigot.
Let's get that music back up, Mike.
Boom. You gotta give him the chord back.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the.
Hey.
It goes to Mike, bro. I was just pointing to the direction.
He wasn't a goddamn dog, man.
Right. Chill out.
Don't you down the side of the street like a goddamn dog.
You need to go get that dog back, but yeah. How we living over there, Mike? We back up?
Yo.
We was down for a second.
We was down for a second, then we back with the jump off.
So look,
Cohen obviously.
Oh yeah,
is
Cohen.
at
He's ready.
odds with this
Look.
one. That man got his Google facts ready.
It's
Right.
because
He got a fucking notebook under the table.
this is what y'all gotta understand.
What we
right?
gotta
I
understand.
make it a point to understand the things I'm sharing, the people I'm agreeing with, and the real ideology
You
behind
gotta
it.
catch the beat. Catch
Number
the beat,
one,
catch the beat.
everybody who's here and everybody who's listening in, Google who Ben Shapiro is.
I don't
that-
give a fuck
that's-
who he
It
is,
doesn't
though.
matter.
I'm not
No,
gonna shoot the message.
it's very essential to the whole argument.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because he
not.
conflates, just like how people criticize Umar for conflating facts with a little bit of ideology.
I don't criticize Umar.
I didn't say you did. I said just like people conflate him or have a problem with him because they feel like he mixes random things in with fact and can sell it really well. That's Ben Shapiro to me because he stated some facts and statistics in that rant, but a lot of it was mixed in with ideology. And when you do that, you stir it up, it all sounds great.
All right, but let me say this. First of all, I would like to clearly state I have no hatred in my heart towards anyone who considers themselves a transgender.
Totally agree.
Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to wear, go out and fucking do it if that's what the fuck you want to do. But I will say, I agree wholeheartedly with everything this man said in this video because, I mean, let's just be honest. You can think whatever the fuck you want to think that you are, but if you a man, you a man, and if you a woman, you a woman. If
Fact.
you're born with a dick, you a man. If
Totally
you're born with a
agree.
vagina, you're a fucking woman. Now there
No matter how you change
are
it.
exceptions to the rule. Some people are hermaphrodites,
Yep.
and some people grow this and some people grow that. But if you're a fucking man and you one day and you're not naturally growing hormones or none of that shit, and you go get an artificial surgery, you aren't what you think that you are.
That's mental.
Yeah.
You have
That's
an issue. You have a mental issue that you probably need to get checked on. And I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, but bottom line is if you wake up and you look yourself in the mirror and you aren't what you don't see what you actually are in the mirror, there's a disconnect there.
It's a mental
Yes,
problem.
There's a
it's
disconnect
mental.
I agree. I agree 100%
agree.
what you said, but that's only one portion, right? I think the problem with his argument, he conflates all issues of transgenderism into one box, and that's not the case. You have people who have diagnosed medical conditions, like they can have an ovary, right, in their body and have a penis. The ovary is producing estrogen, which will make them grow breasts, which will make them lighten
Well,
their
family,
voice.
there's a very
It's
low,
acceptance,
there's a very low
right.
percentage of people who are born like that, and you know what you call that? In fact, that's actually a birth defect. That's due to toxicity in the mom's body during the birthing process that causes that.
So
but under normal circumstances,
That's fine.
that is not supposed to happen.
So you agree that processes in their birth or processes in their hormones can change them, right?
I believe that artificial agents and chemicals can alter people's perception, but that's a deformity. That's an illness.
So
That's not an actual identity. No.
So if
It's
you
not.
if you agree that their genetic makeup can cause them to think a certain way, right? So it's a lot of people in that community go undiagnosed with genetic issues. in first world, we're able to get tested if your baby shows an abnormality, if your baby has an issue. We have good insurance. We can say, hey, test my daughter, test my son. It's something not quite right. And they're able to diagnose genetic issues. They're able to diagnose issues that cause gender dysphoria.
Okay, but here's where you're going wrong. Here's where you're going wrong, though. Here's where you're going wrong. What's happening is these people are being diagnosed by certified psychologists and psychiatrists.
I didn't say psychiatrist.
Hold up, listen to me.
I said
listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you.
That's not a psychiatrist.
Listen to what I'm telling you. Because the majority of people who consider themselves transgender and make that leap, they aren't getting genetic testing. They're listening to psychologists who are telling them it's okay, come out and be who you want to be. And later in life, after they get these crazy surgeries, they're killing themselves at an alarming rate because they can't go back to what they used to be.
Actually, let's bring the argument back to the beginning. So if you look in terms of gender,
why are we bringing it back to the beginning?
No, because what Ben Shapiro does, it's kind of like what's happening right now. Like you'll mix in a little bit of fact with your ideology and push it, and it sounds good.
I don't think it was
hold on, I'm gonna bring y'all back. So when you talk about gender, right? Because that's the base of his argument. When he says gender and sex are the same thing, they're not. When you're born, the doctor looks at your body parts.
I think we're arguing semantics. We're not arguing any actual.
No, we're not arguing semantics.
We're gonna go back and forth over semantics.
No, we're arguing fact versus fiction. So when you're born, the doctor looks at you. He said, "Do you have a dick? Do you have a pussy?" He assigns you male or female, right?
Based off of what you have.
Based of your physical, out of your physical makeup, right? No testing, no nothing. So, let's say, God forbid, somebody has a baby in here. 44 chromosomes are right, 2 are off. So, to the physical appearance, that child looks like a boy.
This is a stretch.
But if you test the child, he has the chromosome of a male. But he has more testosterone.
We're talking about physical deformities here.
Yes,
we are, because this is not the case.
That's not the norm.
In every normal birth.
That's not
this is not the case.
Right.
And
transgenderism is not normal.
No. But this is not the case in 99.9% of transgenders.
But
you're talking about a very small portion of people.
But the basis of his argument is that sex and gender. No, let me finish.
Jamie Lee Curtis is a fucking hermaphrodite.
Are you gonna filibuster or let me explain?
I'm gonna put that shit in a proper context.
I'm about to give you facts, but you're filibustering the facts.
But the facts you're giving are like based on like 0.0001%.
Right, exactly.
You're wishing upon a star, bro.
No, the basis of his argument is that sex and gender are the same thing.
No,
but that wasn't
the basis of his argument.
It is. That's the first thing he says in the video.
That's not the first thing he says in the video.
So we're gonna run the tape back later, and that's what he says in the video, that sex and gender are the same.
So this is what you're saying. So this is what you're saying. Are you saying this? A man is a man, but a man is not a male.
I'm saying that.
What are you saying?
No, that's real talk.
I'm saying the term male and female are. I'm about to answer it.
Thank you.
I'm about to answer it. Stop talking. The term male and female.
Oh man, why you getting all in your feelings, man?
Because
in your feelings.
You see CJ.
That's that estrogen.
No. On this show, when facts come out, they start filibustering. So look.
It's a yes or no question.
It's a male. It's a male.
Not a yes or no question.
Why is it not?
The fat guy.
Are you a male? Are you a male?
I am.
Are you sure?
Are you a male? Maria, are you a female?
Yes, I am a
Tripp,
female.
are you a male?
Yes, I am.
CJ, are you a male? I'm a male. Colombian Jesus, are you a male? Mike is a male.
Are you black?
That's different.
I'm gonna tell you what
That's totally different.
No, it's not different. Male and female and black and white, they're both social constructs. It's something that we create as human beings.
That's not true. That's not true, man.
Right.
Are you gonna? So you see?
So let me ask you this.
Y'all see when I start talking?
Wait, let him finish.
Let you get
Let him finish. Come on, y'all.
First of all, he didn't even answer my fucking question.
I just did.
I said, as a man, a male. I said, if you consider yourself you're a transgendered woman, right? Because that's what they call themselves. You're a transgender woman. Are you not a man at this point?
Where the argument
Are you
goes,
not a fucking man?
The argument goes wrong is you don't understand the difference between a scientific classification and a social construct.
We're talking about semantics here.
No, that's not a semantic.
Yes, we are. We're talking about the difference between this word and that they fucking words. Do you have a dick? Yes, you're a fucking man.
Yeah.
Were you born with that?
But that's scientifically not true.
But hold on. But why do you have to? How do you have to scientifically prove that somebody is a male or female? You don't have to scientifically prove.
Can you prove scientifically that you're black or white?
I'm not black or white.
It's the same
But
thing.
look,
Male and
what he's
female,
saying
black
is
and
that
white
it
are both
looks-
social constructs.
What
that
he's saying
as
is
human,
if it
as
looks
human
like that,
beings,
you can't
when you
say
come into the
that.
hospital, your doctor looks at you and
Because
says,
he
this
looks
is a male,
that's
this is
not-
a
classified
female.
as a
It's
male.
a classification.
I'm
That's
no.
not a physical
No.
thing.
But if you look,
What determines your gender? Can you reproduce? Because what it really boils down to, how do you reproduce? Which makes you male or female.
Bruh.
So that term, man or woman, does not delineate how you reproduce.
So let me ask you
Can
this:
a
do you
trans-
like females or do you like women?
So that term doesn't delineate
or male.
Do you
how
like
you
females or do you
reproduce.
like women? Do you like
the
females or
actual
women?
thing that the actual
fuck?
thing
This
that
is stupid.
describes how you reproduce
This is stupid.
are your chromosomes. It's
is
not
really-
the man or female.
And it's
So their
the
whole
But check this
Bro,
out.
jump
though.
off the left wing
but
bandwagon,
I
bro.
can
Bro.
have children because yes, I have a uterus. I have ovaries.
She was born that way.
I was
But-
born
okay,
that way.
but-
I
so-
was born with those physical features. So yes, one, physically looking at me, you would say, okay, she's a female. Scientifically, you would say she's a female because of the organs that I have are not made for a man. They're made for a
So
woman.
what if a man was born with those organs?
It's a deformity.
That's a deformity. That's
Like
a
if
birth
you're
defect.
born blind.
That's
But
a
it's still-
defect.
If you're born blind, that's a deformity.
So that kills your point.
Bruh.
Is that if you're a man, you're a
No.
man. You're a woman, you're a woman.
No, that
it's
doesn't kill
objective.
the point.
So it's even third classifications. Transgender. No, I'm sorry, not intersex, because they're born with everything. It's people that literally have ovaries,
And it's a
have
small
testicles.
amount, and it's a defect.
But the point I'm trying to make is that you can't say a man is a man, a woman is a woman.
Okay.
That's not a fact. That is a what?
So
That's
can
not-
I say
that's not
this?
a fact.
Hold on.
Can
That's
I
Cohen.
like
Hold
saying
on,
somebody's
hold on.
black or white. The terms black or white
No,
did not
those are
exist.
totally-
No, I'm gonna tell you, the
Okay.
term black or white
Bro,
did
if
not
it-
exist before the 1600s. Nobody
We don't
classified
give a
themselves
fuck
as
about
black.
Yo,
black and
we
white.
might as
Nobody
well-
classified
that's
themselves
That's
as white.
different.
We might as well- we might
It's
as
not
well-
different because they're both
You can't
social.
use
No,
that.
it is
different. You want me to tell you why it's
they're
different?
very
So-
different.
let's
Because
get
you
some order
can
here.
look
Let's
at
get.
you can look at people, right? You can look if you want to use the black and white thing. You can look at me
I don't
and you
know
would
what she
think
is.
exactly. You would think, oh, I mean, I don't know. She might be mixed. She might not. She probably is Spanish. She might not be black. I don't think she's black. Looking at me. But actually, I am all black. Yes, everybody watching, I am black,
Well,
not mixed with
well,
nothing.
like kind of
But-
creamy.
But
But
that proves my
But-
point. Someone can't
but-
look at you, but it's what you identify with.
But hold
right?
up though. Hold up though. Hold up though.
Hold on. Let's unpack this. That's what
Wait.
you identify
Because
with.
you're
No,
running- you-
because it's
No, no,
my
no,
skin color.
no.
It is the race that I
My nigga,
that
you
I
just-
am.
you
No,
just
no,
robbed
no.
the
We
bank
about to
with
no,
Mark
we about to
Dollars.
unpack this.
You just
No, we
robbed the
about to-
bank with Mark Dollars,
No,
bro.
we about to
Stop.
unpack this.
Okay, I'm ready.
You identify as black, right?
Here we go.
Yes, because my family is black. Is the race black? Like that's what we are. We're black.
But we all know
race-
that doesn't
but
have
race
anything
is
to
a
do-
social construct.
Okay.
But
okay.
you live your life
I
identifying because
I
I'm a
can't
black
change
woman, right?
my race. I can't say, oh, okay, I'm black
Somebody
now.
said-
I want to be Spanish.
somebody said gong now, please. on
Like-
Facebook Live.
Like I can't do that because that's not true.
But people do it all the time.
Shout out to Tracy.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's right that people
So
do
that's
that
the
all
thing.
the
When you-
time.
When it's a
But you know what? When
when it's
people
a
do that,
social,
they look stupid.
when it's-
Yes, very
but-
stupid.
It looks stupid
But
as
my
fuck.
point is, and this is only countering Ben Shapiro. When you try to make a social construct a scientific fact, that's when you run into a problem.
I get
Black
what
and
you're
white
saying.
are social
nigga-
constructs. It's not a
But
scientific fact. So
gender
he
is not a
conflated. He
social
conflated.
construct,
But he
though.
conflated.
Gender's not
He conflated.
social.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You
Gender's
were-
not
you were- it
social.
was male and female
Bro,
since
I
the
gotta-
beginning
I
of
gotta
time.
bro.
Talk about-
Right,
talk about
exactly.
At the
Order
beginning
in the
of the
motherfucking court.
Let me just say this.
at the beginning of the video, he said sex and gender.
So what is
were the
sex?
same
Yeah, go ahead.
thing.
Okay, so what is
Let-
sex?
let me say this,
Your
let me say this.
ability to reproduce.
Okay, far as the
Hold on. Oh, let
go
me
ahead.
just say this.
I'm about
So
to
you
read this.
say
I'm about to
you-
read his Facebook
You
comment.
say male, and I mean you say black and white didn't exist till the 1600s.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. That's why when you asked me am I black, I said I am a human fucking being. However, people have been reproducing and recreating since the
Dawn
beginning of time.
And it's always been a word for man, and it's always been a word for woman.
You don't need a classification to say I'm a man and I can impregnate a woman, or I'm a woman and I can be impregnated by a man. even if you're transgender, Bruce Jenner, who now is transgender, did not cut his genital off. He could take his fucking skirt off and get somebody pregnant. He's a fucking man.
Yeah, he's the poster boy for trans. Second of all, this shit is so fucking crazy and outlandish. He's a fucking man who turned himself to a woman who's still straight. He turned himself into a. He was born a lesbian
with a strap, with a regular strap, with a real strap on.
This is fucking madness.
Which my point is, when you have people like Ben Shapiro pushing dangerous ideas.
Dangerous ideas.
That's not dangerous idea. What?
It's a very
That's not dangerous.
It's a dangerous idea.
Let me ask you this, though.
Young.
As far as the reproduction is concerned, a man, and a woman have to come together to reproduce.
That's all.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
At the end of the day.
That's
so you talking about reproduce, how you reproduce? They have to motherfucking merge every time for any type of reproduction to happen. Now,
reproduction.
At least once a show.
Reproduction.
But
artificial insemination.
But secondly.
Oh my God.
Cohen, really?
He just can't be wrong.
Oh my God.
No.
Yo, where's the Sandman at?
But that's
artificial
insemination, that don't matter. So what?
You
But that's still a male sperm. It's still a man, right?
Okay, so
I can't take
a woman that you see on the street that you might think is a full woman, right? She got testicles.
What?
No, we talking. He just said a man and woman got to come together.
Right.
They can put her in a motherfucking gurney, wheel her to a hospital, go in her testicles, extract that shit, put it into a woman, and make a fucking baby.
That's artificial, though.
So he just said a man and woman got to come together. That's not true.
Well, I mean,
that technically,
based on the
hold on.
That's not true. That's science fact that's not true.
Hold up, time out. No. Oh, listen. What you're saying right now is completely ridiculous because number one, we're talking about the natural divine order of things.
Yes.
If some mad scientist creates a way to turn your balls into a fucking ovary, okay, fine. But that's not.
We were talking about Ben Shapiro.
That is not.
And Ben Shapiro did not say anything about the divine order.
All he said was a man is a man and a woman is a woman.
He conflated fiction with fact.
Shit. He said straight up
sex and gender.
But let's talk real.
You know, before 2005 they were.
And that's the basic.
Before 2005 they were. After 2005, when all this wild shit started coming out, all of a sudden they changed it.
Nah, because they changed the DSM all the time. I'm a psych major. They change it all the time.
But look here, this is my thing though.
They change it all the time.
But
terms ADHD came about in the last 20 years.
But that's a fake ass illness too.
But
how in one sense you quote in that book like, oh, that's law. They put that in, but they put ADHD in that too.
I'm not quoting that.
That's fake news.
That's a very fake illness. Time out.
Yeah.
I'm not quoting anything.
That's some bullshit.
I'm just giving you an example.
No, you quoted the
of
DSM.
how Western science manipulates everything to drive it where they want society to be at the time.
But you just did the same thing.
You know why I'm not on board with none of that shit? And shout out to all of them. I'm not mad at none of y'all.
Right.
I hope y'all live long, prosperous lives and do, good things. But if the media is pushing that shit and normalizing it, I definitely ain't fucking
influence.
I don't understand. I don't understand. And I'm going to bring race into it. I don't understand how we as black people can sit up here and argue this. And like you said, I really don't have a problem if someone, because we're not even talking about sexual preference at this point.
Right.
It's not sexual preference. So when people say they're born this way, they're gay, all right, whatever, that's how you feel. But we're talking about, like you said, a woman or artificial insemination, you brought that up. You cannot take sperm out of Iku's last nut that he has and put it in you and you become pregnant. It don't work like that. Who the fuck hold on, wait, because you said said artificial insemination. Even with
from a man to a woman.
No. You said
that's what he just said.
No. I'm gonna quote what you said earlier because I remember what you said. You said a girl with titties and everything can go to the doctor and the doctor can turn their balls into ovaries or some shit like that. And you said that's a man and a woman coming together. That's your quote, what you said.
I said, and I quote, there are people who are born with both sex organs.
No, bro.
That produce eggs and produce sperm. And they can go to the one that produce both. They can sit them down in the gurney,
extract the
sperm from them,
and stick
it in another woman. and get them pregnant.
But
That's
it's
what
not,
I said.
It's
Wow.
what the fuck is going on?
Hey, look here, man.
You see how far you got to reach?
So I put this in the I put this in the group chat. I told all of them to Google intersex.
For what?
To understand.
A man is a man. I'm not
Why?
googling
A man
that.
I don't
is
need
a
to
man,
Google that.
a
Okay,
woman is a
so
woman.
what and
now
I
we
told
gotta Google basic shit.
You gotta
Right.
Google that you're
so
a man.
the problem that
Basic shit. You
why
gotta Google it.
why I took a real hard line on this is because
Hit the bell. Hit the bell. Hit the motherfucking bell.
why I
took a hard
why I
line.
took a hard line
Right.
on this because on this show, right? On this show, we pride ourselves on being educated brothers, right?
Correct.
So
And ladies.
if we pride
Hello.
and ladies, we pride ourselves on being that. So I feel like we're gonna discuss a topic. We gotta discuss it from a point of view where we understand all sides.
But you know what I don't
point in
like?
life
But
did
you know
we
what I
get
don't
to
like?
when it was
You know
like,
what I don't like?
I
man,
can't
woman,
listen to
I'm
it. I be
confused.
like, I don't
Let me
know
go
what that
Google
is.
what a man
Right.
is. Let me go
Exactly.
Google what a woman is. How the fuck did we get to that point?
Right.
Because
so
we're educated from Western fucking standpoint. If we go back to the East, if we go back to where we
We can
originated,
go back to 96.
I'm just
go back to 96.
It's
And
just,
it-
So
yeah.
this is the same argument that the right has that when new information is that when
This
new
new
information or when information is shared
information.
that contradicts your belief that you
Bro,
held
get
for a
off
long
the
time.
left wing titty, bro.
It's not about it's not about
You
I
are.
don't identify
Yo,
myself
matter of fact,
as
I don't
left
fuck.
or right.
I'm not even touching
But-
that dirty ass bird.
But this is the same issue that has people denying climate change. It's the same issue
Fuck
that
climate
has
change.
people
Right.
that has
Hold on,
people
what do
denying
climate change got to
cigarettes.
do with if you're a man or a woman?
Because if
it's called a reach, man. I'm sorry.
If I can bet you $100 right now.
I got $100.
Hold on. No. I'm gonna tell you why it's the same.
We need to
If
get
I
to the
can
next
bet you
subject.
$100 right now, everything that I'm saying, you can walk out of this room and Google it and look it up, and it's fact. Absolute fact. I challenge anybody to Google. So that's
Google-
just like people get online
Google
and say
what?
climate doesn't exist
Hold
or
on.
cigarettes didn't cause cancer or all these things where the science is in. The science
What?
is there.
That's
And
not
it's
the same
dangerous.
thing, bro.
What
It
do that
is the
shit they
same
got to
thing.
do with? That's a woman.
All right.
That's a man.
Why do you need
because when-
science to prove that you're a man and a woman?
Because when someone like Ben Shapiro
Yo,
gets
did this
just
online,
don't like
Did this nigga take
No,
the girl
when-
or something?
when
Right.
someone when
Right.
someone
Nigga,
like
get your
Ben
girl
Shapiro
He fucked
comes
your bitch.
online
Fuck your bitch.
and a video like that is spread 3 million times, right? It has 3 million some views. And there are blatant lies in the video.
You could
just like and I'm gonna tell you other lies that y'all
I'ma
can
tell you
Google.
one thing
When,
I
hold
know.
on, when we
not talking-
watch the tape back,
Male,
Google
female,
it.
boy,
But
girl,
we
girl.
we
That's
not.
all.
So are you comfortable getting your information from someone who lies to you?
No, time out.
No, no,
We're not
let me say
getting
one
the
thing.
information.
One thing, please.
That
This-
shit-
hold on.
One thing.
Has anybody in the room
walking in the
Google
fucking
anything?
room.
Has anybody in the room Google any statistic that Ben Shapiro
Pump
stated?
your fucking brakes real
No,
quick.
that's a answer that with yes or no. Did you Google any of his statistics?
Man, I'm not answering a
You know-
billion
you
questions
know-
from
Did you look
I'm
up
sorry.
any statistics?
Let me answer your question.
Right.
Boy,
That's
hold on,
not
let me
something
answer.
right.
Who
Let me
the fuck
answer.
gotta
Let me
Google that
answer.
shit?
Why?
Every time he get caught in the ropes, he
this?
want niggas to answer a
Hold
new
on.
question.
Do you realize?
No.
Fuck
do-
outta
hold on,
here.
wait. Do you realize?
Everybody in
This
the
nigga
room
is
said.
a- so
Everyone in the
the-
room said, "I agree exactly what he's saying."
No,
so
no.
you agreeing with somebody? You didn't research nothing they said.
I got 2 points. I got 2 points that I want to make. The first point is first point is this: Google also is an internet source that has so many opinionated articles on it. Everything on Google is not a goddamn fact. That's the one
true.
thing. So you
Fact.
also when you
Believe the
research
internet.
something on Google, research the scientists behind it, research the research labs behind it,
Who-
and research the agenda that they're trying to push.
I'm a
when
journalism
they-
major.
No,
I understand
I
sources.
thought you were
Oh,
just
you're a psych
a
major.
psych major.
I got 2 degrees.
Come on, man.
Do I gotta hit y'all the Umar? Look up everybody out there. Look up Texas Southern University. Look up my degrees. See what they in.
So you majored in psychology and
Yes.
journalism at the same damn time.
I forgot he dropped out in 10th grade. They got double majors in college. My bad.
So you double major?
I don't
or you
have
got
a
major
college
and
degree,
minor?
but I've read more books than most people in college.
So
Malcolm X doesn't have a college
You know
degree.
what?
but he-
stay. Hold on, no.
Malcolm X
Don't
doesn't
get too
have a-
far. Stay
All right, let's
stay on the
stay
argument.
so
Stay with
my-
your
No,
my-
we gotta stay on the argument.
So my
Say what
next
you gonna say.
my next thing is
He can go as far as he
my
wants.
next thing is you may not agree with everything Shapiro says or stands for. I don't agree with everything fucking Donald Trump says, but at the same time, I looked into the fucking eclipse just like his dumb ass did. But just because
That's not helping your
what I'm
credibility
saying
at
is-
all.
No, I say that to say this. Just because you don't like somebody or don't like what they stand for doesn't mean every single thing they say 100% of the time is wrong.
Right.
I don't agree with everything you say, but don't mean you're wrong all the time.
I didn't
I got a
personally.
challenge for you, Mr. Cosby. there is a transgender center
Right up the street.
a couple of blocks from here.
Right up the street.
Right? Walking that motherfucker.
Y'all my niggas, so I didn't want to do that to y'all, but y'all got to research y'all topics.
All right, look. Walking that motherfucker tomorrow at 1 p.m. Between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m.
Hold on, Desi. Cohen, I'm talking to David Ford. He's on the live feed. He says to you, research is not Google, and Google
That's
is
a
not
fact.
research.
Well, for David Ford, let me clear it up. Google scientific journals that have plenty of studies on this. David Ford.
All right, listen.
Not Wikipedia, David Ford.
Will you walk into the transgender center tomorrow? All right? Let me know what you see in there. Because with my
Transgenders.
job, I go there. No, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of emotional problems that a lot of people have in there.
Yep.
I agree with
And
you.
nobody's talking about that.
And they
I
are
agree
killing
with you.
themselves,
Right. And
literally.
if you ask
but that's-
them why do they identify as the opposite sex or whatever, they will tell you why and what happened to them or what situation they were in.
I agree with you on that 100%. This whole argument came from, we started with Ben Shapiro. If Ben Shapiro said there are issues, if Ben Shapiro
With a button-up shirt on.
if Ben Shapiro was intellectually honest and said, because all these things exist, if he was intellectually honest and said it's people with emotional problems that go to the transgender community for acceptance,
That's pretty much what he said when he was talking about the suicide rate.
I agree with that, but that suicide rate is not tied to that fact. That's why I said the suicide rate is tied to the fact that you have a whole
Psychological
group
problems,
of people,
man.
right, who are being played by the media. They're being trumped up and made out to be these heroes because they're coming out and saying that they're this and they're that. But in the meantime, they're being used. Their psychological problems are being exploited
I agree.
for a movement that shouldn't even exist.
I agree, but it's not a monolith. I hate to keep throwing that out to y'all. It's not a monolith. It's not one classification
I'm
for the
lost.
whole issue.
Can you? I am a little stupid. What does monolith mean?
That means if somebody, if a white dude came in here and said, "I don't like black people because y'all all criminals," that's describing.
But we didn't
all,
discriminate against
We're
them.
not discriminating against transgender.
We just said they were not born a man and they were
Right,
not
that's
born a
not
woman.
discrimination.
I didn't say. I never conflated discrimination with that.
So why did you just?
I just said we're not all the same. Some niggas is criminals. That's true.
But what the fuck does that got to do with anything?
I was defining monolith because he said he didn't know what
so
monolith meant.
We putting the word back in context.
So putting the word back in context, how is this situation monolithic?
That's all I'm about to say.
When we discussed why people are the way they are, why transgenders are transgenders, your same argument is because they all have psychological problems.
Okay, why do black
Hold on,
people?
is
Why
that-
are black people?
No, no,
overly
let me
materialistic? It's
clear-
a psychological problem.
Let me clear it up. So
It's a
do you feel
psychological
like
problem.
every
That's why I rock riches.
transgender person? let's make the
Shout out to
argument.
Rich's Clothing.
We're gonna make the argument crystal clear. Juiceman Dan, Tripp Simpson.
Come
Do
on.
you believe all transgenders are transgenders because of psychological problems?
I do actually think so.
Yeah.
I think they are not comfortable with how the creator made them. I don't know if it's the conditioning from how they were raised. Like you said in the beginning, the 0.0000.1 people that are born fucked up, that's a defect. But however, it's psychological to look in the mirror and say, I'm not comfortable how I was made, how I was born. That's not a fucking, you don't need a medical, you don't need Google, you don't need a book to say that that's a psychological problem. It's in your mind.
Yeah, and this guy from France, he did a study, and before all of this, like years ago, being homosexual was a mental issue. It was a mental issue. And then it became this whole, now it's a movement. And like I said, I don't have any problems with homosexuality, transgender. If that's how you feel, that's how you
So
feel,
are you
live
going
your
on
life.
record, Maria?
But it is a psychological issue.
Are you going on record with that too, Tripp?
I'm going on record with what Mr. Myers said because number one, like he said, it's cut and dry. Like if you're a man and you think that you're a woman, that is a psychological
in
issue.
your
If
mind.
you're thinking, keyword
As
here,
a man
think.
thinketh, he is what. As a man thinketh.
Think. That is
But
a
it's
mental.
in- it's
that's
in-
in your
it's in
mind.
your
That is a
mind.
mental.
I'm not going to eat a fucking orange and be like, damn.
This
It's
an
an apple.
apple.
Right.
The seed looks like the seed of an apple. It was raised close to an apple.
Yo, I really wanted an apple. I don't have a fucking apple.
It's a nice apple.
And then find it again, and it's
But
like
in your mind, it's a fucking apple.
in your mind it's apple.
And then you walking down the street, and the nigga be like, yo, how's that orange?
And you ain't even peel it.
Not an orange.
And look, and you ain't even peel it, so it's only your eyes and shit, citrus in your fucking face.
This is an apple. Goddamn.
And Cohen's gonna come out of nowhere and say,
It is an apple.
it was raised next to an apple tree, so the seeds fell off, they cross-pollinated, and it's an apple orange.
Wait, yes.
Like, what the fuck?
Apple.
That's actually that is actually how to make hybrid fruits.
Oh my God.
I'm done with this video.
Hey, next nigga gonna tell you what
They
it's
make
Hey,
you
next nigga gonna tell you
That is how they breed hybrid
Listen,
fruits.
how people make.
That's how they breed seeds out of watermelons. That's how they breed seeds out of bananas. That's
And,
actually how that
and
works.
again, it was not naturally made that way.
But what if it's actually an orange?
The orange usually
Nah,
they
it's an
are
apple orange, son. It's an apple orange.
Apple orange.
It's an apple orange.
Damn.
That's like everybody walking around with teacup Yorkies and
What do people
small
say,
snout bulldogs.
I got
But
a
you know
Boston
what?
Terrier.
A male dog and a female dog make them goddamn dogs.
Now, I
That's
want
true.
to get y'all's opinion on this.
Go ahead.
All right, so
Yeah, let's
this adds to the same. This adds to everything we're talking about. So, I coach football. I coached football for like 5 or 6 years. Before, I don't currently coach, but I coached for like 5 or 6 years. I coached 12 and under, I coached 10 and under football.
Where you coach at?
Coached at Woodridge Warriors.
Okay.
And I
Shout out.
coached at
Shout out Woodridge. I played 1 year with them.
Tigers.
I did too, but fuck them. I'm a Lamar Rick Stiller for life.
Woodridge still me.
Look, you're Woodridge Stiller.
Woodridge Warrior for life.
Look, he starts stuttering.
Woodridge Warrior for
What's your
life.
question?
Look though, so I coach football, right? And I've noticed I will definitely see a youngin, a child.
Male or female?
It'll be they males.
Okay.
They males. They little boys.
But nah, some females actually be out
Play
there.
football.
I see some little boys out there, and I'm like,
Shout out, we had girls at Lamar Riggs.
What was her name? Well, we ain't gonna say her name.
Brickhouse.
I see some little boys at Lamar Rick. I mean, I said,
Look.
Go ahead, please.
I see some little boys now, and I be like, what the heck? Like, they
Just the
everything
mannerisms.
off. They mannerisms, everything just off.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I be like, okay, this ain't. I had a conversation with my aunt about this the other day, man. I was like, oh, sure, I think some people might be born gay.
No.
You know what that is?
That's
so
what
let's
he's
learn behavior that
around.
young.
That is learned
I
behavior.
can tell you what that is.
When the fetus is in the womb, it's learning.
Okay,
As
I didn't think about
soon
that.
as it's created, and people, and this is my thing.
You gonna have to
People
expound
don't-
on that. They learn how to be gay as fetuses.
People, no. People
That sound like
don't
a Cohen
realize.
fact.
I know it does.
Yeah, I know.
Look,
Doing the
no,
regular-
That ain't no fucking Cohen.
But people don't
that
realize
beat.
that when a woman is pregnant, everything that woman is going through at that time, from how she's feeling, what she's eating, what she's doing, all of that baby, that fetus takes that energy. It takes it. It feeds it. A lot of times women don't know when they're pregnant up until about a month or two. Some people go so far long as 5 months. So just imagine all of the things that
might
mother
be
is
going.
doing or going through emotionally, physically, mentally.
And
All of that energy is being transferred to that baby as the fetus, like
If I can
it is
piggyback
growing.
on
Before
But that mean
before
that-
they were
wait,
born,
so-
right?
I mean, they
Hold on,
born
hold on.
gay, right?
Even
Before
when
they were
you-
born?
Or they
I mean, they born gay.
But it doesn't make a defect though.
But even when the baby comes out, right? And a lot of
Yes.
the problem that we have in our community is that you have a lack of male energy
There it is.
in that
Yeah.
boy's life. So what you-
Bingo.
Alright.
a lot of the ways that you got a lot of these boys turn out like this is these little dudes is being raised, and I'm not to classify or judge anybody by hood rats. They
And,
act like
and
hood
not
rats.
even that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They act like hood rats. They talk like hood. They even some of them dress like hood rats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the only thing is they still got some male energy, but they still like have that sporadic,
Tendency.
materialistic, behavior. Just like a female, you could tell they get it from their mother. You could tell there was no man.
and-
You could tell there was no man to offset that behavior.
And let me piggyback off
How do you
that.
explain
Hey.
that
Let me
same
piggyback
scenario
on-
happened in Ward 2 and 1 when their parents are millionaires in the same scenario?
And not
turns
even
out?
that. It's
How do you-
about,
how do you explain
some
that?
of them little
They don't-
motherfuckers get raped in the Catholic Church.
yes.
That's
There you
true.
go.
But look,
So
and it's-
without conflating rape, because that's before. That's not his point.
And
Hey,
you know what?
I-
Some people
I feel
just
with
are
y'all.
gay.
Hold on.
I'm not here to
and,
bash gay
and I
people.
mean, like, no, and
Whatever.
also it's
You gay, you
around,
gay.
like, if and I wouldn't agree necessarily with the hood rat thing, but I would say a lot of times, boys are being raised by hood rats or all women, aunts, grandmothers, the mothers, all of that's what they're growing up around. So you get that energy, you pick up that. So then
hood marsupials. So it's the new term.
You get that. So that's why you have those males.
Hood mammals.
Males, but they have female tendencies. They're emotional like females. Why? Because I was around my grandmother all the time, or I was around my aunts and them all the time. But people don't necessarily realize that is why.
Not only that, you also have, and I know I don't want to be the fucking conspiracy guy today, but a lot of shit that is in the communities, it's in the foods, it's a lot of estrogen, it's a lot of shit we're putting in our bodies that's throwing the chemicals off, and the hormones are off. So not only are they being raised by females, not only are they being raised by aunts, they don't even have to be hood rats,
right?
But even if they're just around and they're lacking male energy around them, on top of the food that they're putting in their bodies, what they're consuming, it's causing this psychological.
Can I jump in real quick? Hold. It's the icing on the cake. Maniac, European devils in action.
Media.
The media.
Can I jump in real quick?
The fucking media.
I agree with every single thing you just said. So, I think y'all thinking that I'm not agreeing with a lot of your arguments, but
I'm trying to come home now.
No, but we gotta. We have
really back in.
No, I'm not. We have a responsibility to separate fact versus fiction. When you go back and listen to what you just said, you're going to say, based upon what they were eating, that was affecting their genetics. Your genetics affect your hormones. Your hormones produce your thoughts. When you look at attractive women, that's your male hormones kicking in I want that. I want her.
Not necessarily because I can look at a woman and be like, she's attractive. I don't know.
It's the process of attraction.
You were born that way.
But the process of attraction is a hormonal thing. Just like you going your period or you're ovulating, your hormones is telling you, I want a baby more. And you could be attracted to a dirtbag nigga, but you ovulating, now you want to get some. So what I'm saying, when you go back and listen to your argument, what you said, we talking about the same thing. It's just, I think it's dangerous to say that everybody, what they're doing is just a choice. There are no other factors related to it. And somebody like Ben Shapiro, that's what he does. And that's dangerous.
But I think what you're doing is
they say call up irritated Janie.
What you're doing is dangerous because you're negating the fact that Ben Shapiro did want the psychological instances. You're not even mentioning that part. He definitely referred to the psychology.
I said he only says that is the issue, and no other issue can be the issue.
He didn't say that. He didn't say no other issue.
He specifically said in that video. All right.
He didn't say there's no other issue. He didn't say that.
The reason why they say the girl got owned because she was trying to bring up the other causes of transgenderism, intersectionality, everything we talking about. She was trying to bring up. She was trying to bring up.
That's just how they feel. Like
she was trying to bring up the other causes. So he says
that's an emotional, psychological
thing. The psychological.
First of all,
it's the only issue that people are.
And
he said because you can get psychological treatment and it'll be fixed. So when he says that, that means the psychological problem.
That wasn't his exact words.
He said a male is a male and a female is a female.
You cannot deny that.
Like that's it.
That's not a fact.
You can't.
How is that not a fucking fact?
You can't look at me and say, "Oh no, she's a boy." Physically, I am a female.
Okay, so when y'all, so
you know what I'm saying?
Y'all like to throw out minuscule facts, right? Like, no. In terms, I'm talking about in terms of percentages.
I guarantee you, nobody in the chat agrees with you.
Listen.
Hey, no. Hey, press one.
Let's look at Facebook.
Press one if you agree with Cohen.
Press
one.
Press
one. All right, I'm gonna keep giving y'all facts and y'all can look it up later.
Cohen.
So there are literally.
I know the genie don't.
They're literally.
You out there?
Nah, they said to call him.
Don't call that clown. They're literally
hundreds. Don't do that. Don't do that because he's not.
I personally feel he's a clown. Y'all can do something.
I don't.
I can personally feel he's a clown.
Yeah, you can, no doubt. But
He's a clown. I'll tell Juice face.
Niggas on the road today.
So,
damn.
back to facts, right? You guys have personally thrown out.
I mean, look, he gonna be on the Ellen show tomorrow. He's a hero.
You guys have personally thrown out 0.001 something of a fact or 0.00 something that. But if you look at total numbers, just like we're the smallest minority in America, like by percentage wise. But we are
No, we're not. That's not a fact.
Hey, so
compared to white people.
No, bring it home.
But you
Bring
said
it
the
home.
smallest
No,
minority.
I
White people are the minority.
Trip.
There are more Asians than
in
us.
terms of
No,
black.
there are not more
okay,
Asians than us.
in terms of
Allow
black,
him to
in
bring it
terms
home,
of black
son.
and white, we're only 19.
But you just started off
We're
your
only
whole
19.
tirade about facts with the bullshit facts.
I'm clarifying.
I had to do it for you.
I want to hear him clarify this.
No,
clarify.
Trip, let
So,
him bring it home, son, because it's never 5
You
minutes.
can go by percentages and you can go by whole numbers.
No,
you can
for
say
him to bring it home,
if you
though.
talk about
5
percentages,
minutes.
it is a very small percentage of a population that has gender defects. But if you look at it as a whole population of like real people, a whole number, there are millions of people.
Hey, have you gotten
So,
an endorsement
if there
from
are
like
millions-
the LBGT?
No. Did you hear what I said?
There's millions of handicapped people. There's millions of blind people. There's millions.
So don't we advocate for them?
There's millions
So
of
my
drug
thing is
addicts.
this,
Don't
though.
we advocate for them?
This is
We
my
don't
thing,
put that
though.
in the same light.
This is my
But
thing.
don't we
This is my
advocate
thing.
for
This is
them?
my thing.
Yes or no?
Okay, if they blind, handicapped, deformity, they still male. They still female. Still boy, girl at the end of the day. That shit ain't changed regardless of deformity, regardless
What if
race,
they blind
class,
What if they
culture,
blind and they
whatever.
intersex? Are they a man or a woman?
They
You know what
can be
intersex
either
is?
a man or a woman.
You talking about?
I don't give a fuck about intersex.
Can we? Let's what's the next topic, man?
Next topic.
Feminism.
Y'all want to do feminism or y'all want to just go straight into?
I want to go.
Nah, I want to hear you talk about
I
feminism.
want to go into what we talked about a little yesterday about leaving.
You want to go into leaving?
Oh,
No, we got 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we only got 40 minutes left.
Yeah. I feel like that's
You've been talking about.
Actually, no, we ain't start till.
I mean,
Well, we got about an hour left.
You've been talking about transgender for a long time.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Cohen's about to be the fight. You about to get paid. The fucking the gay community is about to really give you a flag.
Nah,
And
I'm
again,
just
shout out to
I'm
the
just
community.
intellectually
Shout
honest
out
with
to-
facts
And that's what they're
things
gonna.
to
Hey,
talk about.
folks,
They're gonna love
while
when
we
you
off
say that.
topic, man, make sure to call in and make sure to go ahead and share and like, man. We need to get this conversation going here.
Hell yeah. What's that
Turn
number?
up.
20?
Hey, somebody said Norman been battling his homosexuality since Wilson.
Who said that? Who said
That's
that?
fucking Daryl Quick. Shout out to Daryl
Daryl
Quick.
Quick.
Man.
Come on, man. That nigga's asexual. He don't even get no pussy.
Oh, Daryl Quick.
Yo, listen. First of all, if you don't get no pussy, get off the fucking chat line.
Damn.
Seriously.
Hey guys, not the P word.
Oh, okay.
If you don't get no vagina, get off the chat.
God damn.
Eject yourself, my nigga.
Oh, nah. All right, so where we at? We don't want to do that one. Where we going? Go ahead. You got it.
Nah, fuck it. All right, so
Where we
look.
gonna go with it?
I got it. Fuck it.
No.
No.
Damn it, I got it.
Got it. Get it.
Jesus motherfucking Lord.
Grab it and run with it.
So, I wanted
Pause.
to transition smoothly too, man, but fuck it. This is straight talk, no chase.
Catch the beat. That's all you got to do.
So look, this week a lot of shit's transpired. You got the flood in Houston where a lot of black people were just basically treated just like
Hey, everybody share on you.
Katrina. Okay. We also had this cop
in Georgia,
in Cobb County, Georgia, basically saying, you know, whether he was joking or not, you know, you're not black, so you don't have to worry about dying.
Right.
I don't even care to get into either one of those subjects in depth because we all know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you guys is, where do we go from here as black people? It's basically up front that, like Tupac said, they don't give a fuck about us. So, after all of the Facebook posts and memes that we post to try to get sympathy and white tears, where do we go from here? My suggestion is we all leave, or at least 50 to 60% of us. We leave. I say that because there's no way this economy will function without us. No fucking way.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about $15 to $20 trillion gone out of the economy. You're talking about a huge portion of the workforce gone. A huge portion of the prison population gone.
But they can't just up and leave though.
You know what I mean? You're talking about the NBA with no crossovers or dunks. You talking about the NFL with no jukes or touchdowns?
With no teams. Period.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're talking about the United States of America with no fucking culture at all.
No culture.
We are the culture.
What would they do without us? They talk all of this bullshit about nigger this and nigger that. Go back to Africa. Fuck it. What if we did?
The national sport gonna become baseball and soccer.
Right, but you know what? You know what? The Migos ain't stupid either. If all of us leave, they like, man, hold on.
I gotta go to. Hey, we're in this together.
I think they're gonna ride it out for a couple generations before they roll.
Hey, look, if they don't got our asses to kick, who you think is next?
Actually, they getting worse. They getting it.
All right, so my question to you is, how we leave? How do we do that? You can't just leave.
Okay. How do we leave? So, of course, that's not an easy thing to do. And it wouldn't happen in our lifetime. We probably wouldn't be here to even see it because this would have to be the propaganda passed down to all generations that we need to go. It's something that it could get started now, it could get initiated, but it would probably take 2 or 3 generations. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, even that's better than not starting anything. All we're doing at this point is we keep getting our asses kicked, right? And having a little march or two. Nothing gets done, and we get our asses kicked again.
It's really not that hard, honestly, because how do you leave? You pool your fucking resources together, and you gotta trust one another. We gotta get over this fucking division. Like, everybody in this room make decent money. We all business owners. We all are employed, and we all are doing okay for ourselves. So let's say we say, you know what, we look at a plot in land, and I'm just going to use this hypothetically. In the West Mountains of Jamaica, we buy a couple acres. We let that land develop and let that land build while we're making our money here. You have a bank account there. We send our money to the banks there. We're building on the land. We can hire people to actually farm the land before we get there, have our kids ready to go, because it's not hard if we could come together. And I just don't understand how. Me and my wife already are planning to leave. As soon as I retire, we already are looking for the land, and we're gone. Because at the end of the day, I don't understand how we can sit here and bitch and moan and complain and cry about how fucked up this system is, but we stay in the system. Mm-hmm. We have to have some type of plan. Like,
how are we gonna escape white supremacy though?
Other races.
I don't white supremacy
because
the basis of it. We want to move because we're being oppressed.
No,
but white supremacy is global though.
I got to answer for that. First of all, I would like to say let's start by not saying white supremacy.
Thank you. I was just about to say that.
Let's say white paranoia over inferiority. That's a longer word, but fuck it.
When you keep giving the devil life,
WIP.
When you keep giving the devil life, the fucking devil's going to come at you. Stop talking
That's
about
true.
it. We need to come together. I don't understand how we can call ourselves gods on this earth, but we scared of the fucking devil. And I'm not calling all white people devil. I mean the system of oppression and white supremacy. That shit is devilish, and we can't fear that shit no more.
So to answer your question, how do we do it? Okay, hypothetically, so there's almost 50 million of us here, right? 25 million of us leave. We got a couple $1 trillion in capital, right? What nation on this earth wouldn't be willing to fuck with us with that type of capability? With the knowledge that we already have of this system and the capital that we can bring into their system, what country wouldn't fuck with us? You think Cuba wouldn't fuck with us? I think
Cuba would fuck with us.
You think? I mean, like,
Cuba would fuck with us.
Bottom line is, it's gonna take us to get the black ball rolling for the indigenous people across the world, because we already have the knowledge of how us right here, we're in the fucking capital of white inferiority paranoia.
I think he made the best point of how we can transition to that is we have to look at poor, disproportionate black and brown people all over the world as one. Once we come together as one, we don't have to leave, right? Because we have the support of Africa, we have the support of Nicaragua, we have the support of Cuba, and we're all under one flag fighting for one thing. Because don't get it twisted, they ain't gonna let us do that. Once they see that, they ain't gonna let us do that.
But you know what though? You know why we have to leave? Because if we don't leave, then the superpower that we call America still exists. See, America can't exist without us. But if we stay, we don't have the numbers to even compete.
But it's not. It's not about to me. It's not about America.
Hear me out. It is because America was invented by Rome to be the bullies of the planet Earth. That's all we're bred to do.
Yep.
That's all we're bred to do. We're bred to be consumers. Every citizen's bred to be a consumer because that adds to the economy. The economy, the main thing we spend our money on is the military-industrial complex.
I agree.
Okay?
100%.
That's all we're bred to do here is to build up the military-industrial complex. Okay? Without that vital piece of the American organ, they can't do it.
Chant down Babylon.
But why say it's not about...
They can't do it without us.
But why say it's not about America? America is just an idea that's been recreated. It was... The Dutch had the same idea. The British had the same idea.
But listen,
America is just a name of exploiting people for gain.
But you have to look at history. You have to look at what America represents. America represents the superpower, the Frankenstein of white supremacy. Okay? And when it really got popping, it was after the First World War when they realized the potential that America had.
Right.
Okay?
But
all the European countries had a truce after that. We're going to stop bombing each other. We're going to stop fucking with each other and fuck with everybody else. And they use America as a catalyst. And who's the backbone of America? Who's the fucking femoral artery of America? Niggas.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad
said... You take the nigga out of America, you don't got shit.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, if we ever...
You got unflavored chicken.
Like you said, you ain't got no culture no more.
Elijah Muhammad said, if we ever come together as one unit and one body, we will never have to pick up a gun. We will never have to do anything. Our unity will be the cannon that fucks this whole thing up. Now, don't get it twisted. If we do step off, we better arm ourselves because the motherfuckers are coming.
Hell yeah.
So all this, all of our leaders sitting up here talking about put your fucking guns down. You don't. That shit is old, man. These motherfuckers are training their 5-year-old kids how to hunt in the woods and are prepared for fucking doomsday. We really need to get off Jordans, even though I got some fucking...
That nigga always got on Jordans.
No,
talking shit about
every single time. He always has
I don't got on Jordans today, though. I don't got on Jordans today. But we need to get off our consumerism and build. But I do all right, though, man.
I think we earn this country. We earned our economic place in this country. And if we pick up and go, how are we going to establish that economic engine that we built for Black America
let me ask you that.
Somewhere else? Because that's that purchasing power, that power that we have is really our only leverage to start building the type of movement that you have. So if we splinter up, and you got to realize the countries that will be receptive to us in that way, they don't have the infrastructure to take that many Black people in. We talk about the Cubas, the Haitis.
Let me ask you.
It sounds good, but when we all get there, they don't have the infrastructure.
Let me ask you this question. All right. So we know it's chess and not checkers. So we ain't just gonna all jump into one fucking country at one time and get the smithereens blown out of that motherfucker. You don't do that. You don't do that, right?
You spread out evenly.
So you gotta kind of mimic the way they did shit, right?
They said
how you had the Spanish took this, the British took that,
the French took
the
that,
Portuguese took that, right? So some of us go to Jamaica. We set up shop there. Some of us go to Cuba. We set up shop there. Some of us go to Panama. We set up shop there. You see what I'm saying? We build political strongholds in each of these nations, right? And we keep our diplomacy amongst each other at the forefront of our vision. That's the way you do it.
And not only
are you prepared for war when you do that?
You gotta be prepared. Are you prepared for war now?
I am, because I know when we do that, because we gonna have to fight for that.
I want to say one more. I want to say one more thing.
I agree with
you.
And
I've said this before. And I swear to God, this is how I feel. I'm ready to. I don't give a fuck about death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you lose the fear
of death, they have nothing over you. That's why they couldn't fuck with Vietnam. That's why they couldn't fuck with Haiti back in the day. You lose your fear of death, they can't fuck with you.
They can't. And that's the key. We have
what they got on you.
We got too much. All they got on us now is fear.
Because they don't want that wreck. They like, man, it's gonna cost us too much money to really go out and try to fuck all these niggas up.
But even to his point though, like even to move into the other countries, he said, how do we build the skills and labors that we have here? Just the people we know. Just we could name people we know. We got mechanics. We got construction. I do
HVAC.
We got HVAC. We got electricians. we got all kind of talent and art that these countries are not privy to. So if we bring our skill and our talent, they're going to accept us with open arms. Our only problem is we fear leaving this motherfucking place that we have been taught since kids to pledge allegiance to. But this has never pledged allegiance to us.
But the thing about this, and I see, is the game plan sounds good and all, but we're just behind the 8 ball with it. Because Chinese have already did the exact game plan, which y'all speaking of going around to certain countries.
Shout out to the China, but
send them shot, and then to the point of ready for war. But that's who we truly, America is afraid of, to go to war, because they know they can come at us at any angle.
But you got to start at some point. You
no,
can't just
I'm
say,
with you.
You can't just say, oh, they already did it. We can't do it. Because you got to start. You have to start.
I feel like we got to start, and I do feel like this generation right here, even though we got a lot of messed up shit going on, I feel like this is the most, as far as the majority of people, as far as been like, what they call it, woke, awakened. Okay, now everybody see what the fuck going on. You know what I'm saying?
They're tired of shifting.
Yeah. You see, everybody's starting to be like, okay, we can hit to this shit. You know, you can't just throw shit on MTV no more in front of our faces. We don't notice some shit. Be like, whoa, what the fuck was that about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like me and one of my close friends, we be having these same conversations. I feel like, man, some of the people I talk to, like some of the black people I talk to, they be so mentally fucked up. Like, they may look sane and everything, walking around, hey, go to work every day, but I'm talking about as far as how they deal with other black people. They so fucked up. Like, I can't get on IG without looking at, I don't trust no motherfucking body. Yeah. I don't trust this motherfucker. All I got is my squad. If that nigga, I don't like that nigga even. My mother told me kill him. I'm like, what the fuck is all this about? Why are we even on this top? Like, how did we get here?
Let me tell you how white people do this. They don't give a fuck about the peckerwood and the backwood out. They don't give a fuck about the hickman. They're building without the hickman. And I hate to sound fucked up. Everybody is not going to make it. So you got the coons that love it here, and you got niggas that just want to be niggas. So unfortunately, you're going to have a solid group. But I'd rather take 300 strong men than 10,000 motherfuckers that I got to worry about on my side, on my back.
That shit's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, the piggyback off him. Rich white people don't give a fuck about rednecks in Southern Maryland. They don't.
And if y'all don't understand that, y'all should know it this year. That everything Trump promised all of them, as soon as he got there, he said.
And they haven't even felt it yet. They ain't felt it. But I tell you what, I'm going to tell you what, when they feel it, watch what's about to happen. We better get our shit together. Because when they actually feel that Trump them motherfuckers put their all behind Trump. Like he was their fucking Jesus come. So when they realize in 2 or 3 years that shit didn't benefit them, I tell you what, they armed and ready. They got militias that we don't have.
It's for that reason why I'm not worried about them, because they're dumb.
Yeah.
They're fucking idiots. The real people that we need to worry about, and this, I'm not trying to get into no more arguments with you, but the real people that we need to worry about are the ones who are telling us that shit we talked about earlier that's just, that's normal.
That's normal.
And telling us, go out there and march. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
So those
are the ones we gotta work. It's I always say it's the fucking fake white liberals that you have to watch.
Because marching doesn't do anything.
I'm about to say, has marching ever done anything in history? Ever?
That mentally control. They're still controlling the people mentally.
You know what I keep asking?
For the record, I don't advocate marching.
Just march. No, it doesn't do anything. We come together. We
get a nice exercise though, right?
Right. You get a nice exercise, but then that's it. Like the shit fades. No one puts a plan into action.
There you go.
That's the problem.
Hey, I think we had the solution probably about 20 shows ago. And we really sat there and we hashed it out. And we all came to the conclusion this is an economic game right now. Because a lot of these things don't matter when we get up. When we're up, a lot of problems we have in our social ills. I always give the example. I tell my kids I mentor. When I lived in Upper Marlboro on a golf course for 8 months, I saw the police 2 times. When I parked in the wrong driveway and when I broke something in the house and it set off the alarm. And it let me know that once we start getting ourselves together to be able to hire our brothers to get our money in a certain way that we don't have to stab each other in the back on the job, where we don't have to go to the dominant society to get a job, and we can really coalesce as a community, keep our money in the community, a lot of the problems we talking about is gonna go away. And the ones that don't all the way go away, we can really address specifically, because right now we in so many different directions. It's like, we fighting over this over here, we fighting over this over there, and we can't coalesce. But if everybody's doing good Everybody kids.
My brother, he's back.
Hey y'all. He's back. Hey y'all. Hold up.
You got something from the chat?
Hold up. Yeah. Let me chime in from the live feed. I got the head nose in charge in the building.
Head nose,
Sherrod Carrington, Wilson High School. He says, really not a white-black war. It's the rich and the government versus the people, the racists, are the foot soldiers that are drugged. You must have said that straight out your left nostril, bro. I don't know what the fuck you just said. What the fuck was that, bro?
He said that true. Like he said, those dumb motherfucking rednecks, the oath keepers on them, they pawns. They effective pawns, but he's right. They're just pawns of the rich people, the class that want to keep us subjugated. The flood showed it. Because I know a lot of red people who would not normally come together. I lived in Houston, Texas for 6 years, and I saw them dudes out there in them fishing boats with their camouflage, them Duck Dynasty looking people, and they was rescuing they fellow black people. Everybody was working together, and that's what the up top people, they don't want to see that. Like,
yeah, it's like it goes back to the Bacon Rebellion. Goes back to the Bacon Rebellion. Shout out to the new Jim Crow. Michelle, what's her last name? Michelle Alexander. She broke down with the Bacon Rebellion, and he's absolutely right. Like we're blinded. It's unfortunate at this point, but we've been blinded by race because really they don't want everybody to come together. But at the end of the day, I just think we're at a point where we really got to do for self. I mean, I understand and I get it, but we got to love on ourselves first before we can be inclusive with anybody else. We got a lot of fucking issues. We got 400 years of oppression, and we got 400 years of conditioning that we got to break. So until we can actually love ourselves, it's going to be hard for us to even trust. We can't even trust ourselves. How are we going to trust somebody else coming in? I hate to sound like that.
To be honest with you, history has told us that we shouldn't trust them anyway. I mean, I got white friends and all that, but at the same time, in general, like, am I gonna get a black group to team up with a white group? Maybe, but at the same time, over here, we like, okay.
Should we trust these?
I mean, right. I got a few of them that I think I could trust, but at the end of the day, I don't know, man. You just don't know. It's called race for a reason, and we losing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like shit.
If my daughters run track, it's called race for a reason. But we tripping each other us on the relay team.
Yeah, we trying to hop in the race with the other team and shit.
Yeah. I agree with y'all 99.9%. The only thing is, where I differ is that the people you're trying to exclude exist in our community. They exist. As much as you want to say they don't exist.
Who exists?
Who?
Transgenders, gays, everything you're saying we're trying to run everybody else's race.
Okay,
they all exist in our community.
Let me say this. Okay?
That's why I think
let me say this. The issue I have with the LGBT, right? Right? First of all, as a black member of that organization, you're a fucking dummy anyway. They're using you as a pawn. All right? It shouldn't be LGBTQ. It shouldn't be black feminists. It shouldn't be any of that shit. It should be black people working together. No matter what the fuck you got going on. All right, if we got a little beef, okay, if you don't like gays and he's a gay, y'all beef behind the closed doors. But when we in public,
we unified.
When we in public, we on the same fucking page.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's the only problem. Every other ethnic group has divisions in it. And the only difference between us and them, they stay on code. If you look at white society, they have the capitalists, they have the racists, they have the conservative, they have everything in between, but the only difference is they stay on code. They have all of the same psychological issues. Actually, their shit is worse than ours. But the only difference is they control their image and they control their narrative. So I think we need to have more productive conversations and have more platforms like this to change the narrative. Because what it all boils down to, we all fucked up as people, but they can sweep their shit under the rug and make us look like shit. So we sitting around looking at each other, no, it's your fault. Nah, nigga, it's your fault. It's your people dragging us down. It's that. They got all the same shit.
And they like
but
this.
They sweep that shit under the rug.
And they come
They
together.
put the best of their best out front. So when we look at them, we got to look up to them. And they can talk down us, and we like, well, damn. They got we're smart enough to know they don't have it all together, but the average Joe Blow, like, damn, they got it all together.
Yeah.
White man hired me. You know what I'm saying? The white man gave me my loan for school.
He got me out of jail.
So, I got to go in front of a white judge, a white jury. So, us being the alternative media and us having these productive conversations, educating the people and pushing this like that shit. Charlemagne. That's why I fuck with Charlemagne.
Yeah,
Black privilege.
Yeah, I like
pushing
Charlemagne.
that. Fuck this struggle Olympics. Let me tell you how hard did I got. You telling me how harder than you got.
Yep, I
Fuck
agree.
the struggle Olympics. We
Yeah.
passed that.
Yes,
It's been 400
I totally
years.
agree.
We know how many niggas locked up now. We know
Yeah.
how many crack babies is. All that shit is fucked up. We know.
Yo,
And keep going back around and round about it.
I
Don't help
Not
shit.
exactly.
I actually thank you for saying that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because like we do have a lot of mentors, and everybody in here, we have kids that we mentor and that we go and we talk to. But the one problem, and I won't even want to call it a problem, but I think we glorify the negative traits. Like we always got to say you made it through the mud, and you made it through this, and you made it through that, and that's why don't go my route. But instead, let's just come up there with our chests out like. We don't gotta keep selling the sad story over and over again to have somebody to make it. Nigga, you made it. We all in the same fucking struggle. So we gotta embrace alchemy, man.
I think we just gotta educate the kids because I think our generation is kind of done.
We gotta we
No,
gotta find
ours
a way
ain't
to.
done.
We gotta
Well,
find a way
I think
to.
like 40, like we
Above
push,
us.
Yeah, we pushing for well.
A lot of
We gotta find
mid-30s.
We have to find a way to not get young children and kids, our people, not to fucking feed in the media so much. Cause like I said, like once I ain't gonna say the word woke. Everybody use woke. I'm gonna say aware. Once I became aware of the grand scheme of everything, I don't even look at TV no more. I mean, fuck
Yeah,
that shit
same
because
with
it's
me.
like it's not entertainment. It's
Social media.
I'm looking at like what you trying to sell. What you trying to sell
It's
me right
conditioning. That's
now? What the fuck you trying to sell me
Let
right
me tell
now?
you
Conditioning.
something.
TV,
they
like, all
do
of
it.
that.
Do you know?
Like,
Do you know how much more peace I gain when I turn the fucking news off?
I read. I just read books now.
Nah, but I look at people. I look at me too. But I look at people arguing over Trump and arguing over the left and the right, and I'm just like, damn, I don't even pay attention to this shit no more, and I'm at peace. You know what I read? I read The Alchemist all last week. I didn't give a fuck about none of this shit that was going on. One of the best books I've ever read in my life. Please read that book, The
great
Alchemist.
book. Everybody go check
Yo,
that out.
there's so many gems in that book, and it's a novel, but they dropping the universal laws. They're dropping the master keys in that. They're dropping the 7 principles, the 42 principles of. They're dropping it all in that book. And I swear to God, if we need to start doing book clubs because our mindset has to fucking shift, man.
Yeah.
Per nine.
You know.
Hey, y'all gotta
got
seek.
book
Hey,
clubs,
y'all gotta
but-
seek truth though. That's
Yeah.
why I know I be getting on y'all fucking nerves, but that's why I be adamant about it. I know I get on y'all
Did
fucking
today.
nerves.
Did today.
But that's why I'm adamant about, hey man, we gonna represent something as a show, as a people, what we talking about. People look up to us. Niggas do way less research than we do. They gonna look at you be like, oh, Tripp said it's cool. That shit cool.
That's true.
But
But
I'll say this.
you gotta
And I
be
hear
intellectually
you.
honest with people.
I hear what you're saying there, but one thing that I think that you need to think about is that there are certain issues and topics that we shouldn't even debate about for the survival of our own community. You understand what I'm saying? There are certain things that you're not going to hear white people debate about for the survival of their own community. So choose your arguments wisely.
Did you share a white man's video?
Huh?
Did you share a white man's
Dr.
video?
Shapiro.
Uh-oh.
Dr.
That sounds
Shapiro.
interesting.
I did.
Did you share a white man's video?
I did.
Did you share a white supremacist video?
I shared a white man's video.
Is he a white supremacist?
Listen, I shared a white man.
Is he a white supremacist?
I shared a white man's video.
He's a white supremacist. He won't answer it.
He is a white.
God damn it, we just
He's a white
outright
supremacist.
guy.
I mean, 75-80% of them are. I mean,
Right,
I wouldn't.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? That's already given. But I'm not gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater. The nigga was spot on. Okay, this whole agenda that they got frying and cooking up in our community is gonna bring us down ultimately. It's going to.
Yo, these
It's
beats-
going to.
these
I
beats
have a
are
question,
fire,
right?
man.
We talked about this for 1 hour. Would it been more productive if we just gave the statistics that he gave, posed it to the audience, and then talked about solutions for the community?
We got a pretty good audience right now too.
I mean, it would have been. It was productive how we did it. I think. It was a real conversation. We all told how we felt, and we moved the fuck on.
You know what I love? That's what I love about this show. We don't always have to agree. But at the end of the day, it don't mean we gotta like. The problem is, and on the main screen outside of this room, like it's people that may look at us and see us go back and forth, but they don't realize like, yo, it's all love in this room. We don't have to agree 100% of the time, but our goal and our aim is always pushing our culture forward. So if we have these debates, don't get it twisted if anybody's watching online, because on a show, a couple shows back, somebody felt like I was disrespected. And I'm like, nah, we cool. This is how we do. Like we can disagree. We clown each other. It's fun. It's edutainment. We're all educated in here. We're all smart in here. We're all actual friends in here. We support each other's ventures and businesses, but we don't always gotta agree. And that's what people need to see. That's why I love this, because that is exactly what's missing.
And that's the point, y'all. We don't gotta agree, but we all on the code to push our culture forward.
Yeah. But I feel like with us, we have a problem with agreeing to disagree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because if you notice, like other cultures, they come together, they build themselves up. But with us, there's this disconnect to where, one, we can't accept, hey, we may not see the same views, but the bigger picture is for us to, rise and come together as a people. A lot of times we don't necessarily grasp that. Yeah. And it's always, well, no, I want to be the first one to do it, or I want to be the one. I want to be first. And instead of that, how about we all be first?
Let somebody kick in the door and let's all get money.
Exactly.
Well,
kick in the door, waving the foul.
But I blame that on influence in TV.
But that's why I gotta push back on what you said a little bit. I think some of those conversations that other communities don't have in public, we have to have, because we got so much junk. Like, we got so much reality TV. We got so many youngins trying to go to the NBA, NFL. It's so many barriers in front of us. They parents ain't gonna talk about it. People around in their circle ain't talking about it. The only place they might catch it, they might scroll on Facebook and be like, oh damn, they talking about some rules. Let me tune in, right? We gotta have conversations other communities aren't having, because they don't got the shit to deal with. They don't got the shit we gotta clean out.
Yeah. Constructive criticism does not mean you're a fucking hater.
Right.
Everybody thinks they got haters. No. Constructive criticism is actually fucking good.
That shit kills me.
And you have to be okay.
That kills me. I be like, yeah, ain't nobody thinking about you.
That's not a bad
You have
thing.
nothing to hate on.
Ain't nobody
but the
thinking.
word
Ain't nobody thinking about you,
seems
dog.
to be like a negative thing, so people automatically deems it as negative. No.
I actually enjoy criticism because Cohen criticizes me every day.
I really don't.
He does.
He insults me every single day. He calls my phone with an unnamed insult every day.
Oh man.
Hey, but
what you got, Koosta? What we got in the chat?
I was about to say.
Go ahead.
Is the video going on the live feed?
We gonna jump in the corner real quick, right?
Koosta's corner.
I've been throwing little discussion pieces out all week. Y'all gotta, chime into the discussion. Let's get it going. But anyways, we got this young rapper. I don't even know where he's from.
Oh, that video?
Yep.
That's the one you chose?
Wait, what video?
Because we gotta get ignorant a little
all
bit,
right,
man.
Come on, I like
that. Gotta get ignorant a little bit.
Keep it balanced, right?
Keep it balanced. Keep it balanced.
Can we see it on the monitor over there?
No. Oh man.
But I want to have a conversation about this afterwards. Uh-oh, Lord.
Can they see it on the live feed?
No.
Oh.
Just in case y'all can't see it, just imagine a black ass Freddy Krueger rapping to a trap beat.
Who shared it? Somebody famous shared it. King Karon shared it.
King Karon. He the future of rap, apparently, y'all. Yeah. What y'all think? Chime in with your comments.
That's exactly what's wrong with America. They exploit somebody which obviously has special needs. This is what's wrong with America. This is if y'all don't see it, this is Ice JJ Fish. This is what's the little dude? 50 Tyson. This is another example of America and the rap industry exploiting special needs people.
Ice JJ Fish.
Yes.
Young. How many views that joint? Bro, that joint got over 1 million views.
You gonna get a deal with this retarded shit.
Nigga. Hey, dog.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
808s and bass in the chant.
Bruh.
Give him a chant.
All I will say is the beat was fire.
It was.
The beat was fucking killer, bro.
It was.
And that's God.
I'm gonna keep it 100,000, right? That was. I mean, his flow was awful, right?
This shit was terrible.
But
He does Future, right?
But
yeah.
Okay.
But
damn, that smells.
A lot of people got a lot of criticism about a lot of these rap songs, and I saw an interview earlier with what's the little young dude named Vince Staples.
Yeah.
He brought up some interesting points when he was on the Breakfast Club.
Got a great album too.
These niggas are trying to feed their family. He say, man, if the mix is right, it's on beat and it's in tune, fuck it, it's a good song. But that shit right there, that shit right there, that's got to be a joke.
Give me that shit.
Honestly, when I first seen it, I thought it was an actual joke.
No.
Trinidad James, I first seen him. He's like, what the fuck is this
Trinidad
dude?
James?
Trinidad James. It was like a parody. Like he was trying to be Jerome from Martin or something.
I thought it was what he was doing.
But when the song came on, you like, oh.
But whole time, let's take it back though. Let's take it back. Because when Juvie first came out with the Hum, niggas thought that was a parody too, and the Hot Boys was on fire.
Hold up though, Hum made sense though.
Yeah, man, it made sense.
But like, you in there, man, my jeans on. You keep on the game, my God,
He came with a different type of flow that can't nobody else do though.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that's kind of unique. It was unique.
Keep your body clean, huh?
Yeah, let's move.
He was saying some real shit.
He was saying some real shit. It wasn't like he was saying, oh.
A whole bunch of nothing.
He was like, you don't really want to fuck with them niggas, son.
Like,
you grew up
no,
with them
it
niggas,
wasn't
son.
sound.
Stuck with them niggas.
It was
That's
actual,
modern.
like,
Modern,
action.
You know
modern
what?
day blackface.
I'm
I
gonna-
can see a nigga making a record and you talk some trap shit. You ain't really
Well-
trap. I can see a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I'm-
You embellishing
But
a
if
little
it
bit.
makes sense and it's
NWA
happened,
type
then
shit.
we-
Nigga, write your rhymes.
I'm
but that's
gonna-
exploiting somebody with
That is
special
blackface.
needs.
It's blackface. But I'm gonna tell you why it's not. Scientifically, I'm gonna tell you scientifically. I'm using my Cohen Cosby facts. Scientifically, this is why that's not blackface, right? It's the vaccines. These niggas got autism, man. They got autism.
That's the first I was preaching.
But if we're gonna talk about music real quick, as a hip hop society and as black people, we're actually progressing in hip hop. The top 2 sellers this year
J. Cole and
was
Kendrick
J.
Lamar.
Cole and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're pushing
That's
this type
what's
of
up.
shit way more harder because they like, damn, they figured out
Yeah.
the niggas that they buying, whose conscience is selling out, who's making that real money.
And they're gonna be in the game for a long time.
Is the niggas with hair like this and no chains and none of that.
I mean, you can look at all the top rappers. You can look, you go J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, Big Sean, Wale.
Daryl Quick went back at you.
Hold on, time out. What's Daryl Quick talking about now?
Daryl Quick say what? Hold on. What'd he say?
We already established Derek Quick don't get no pussy, so he can't even be in this
They say
conversation.
he don't get no pussy, Daryl Quick. What's goody?
What did he say?
Read it.
Again, loyalty is what kills the plan. It's usually
that's
over
the
our
old
own-
shit, man. We on the rap
Nah,
shit now.
He good.
Yeah, we on the rap
My
shit.
bad,
Hold on,
Derek
time
Quick.
out.
You was
They
They
dropping
let you
out.
off the hook, Daryl. They let you off the hook. They let you off the hook, little Daryl.
But let him off the
We
hook.
already established.
He must have
Derek
got some
Quick don't
pussy.
get
He
no
got his mind right. Or something.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
pussy getting ass nigga. But let's get it.
But yeah, no.
So, but not. Like y'all keep buying good music, keep buying Joey Badass, keep buying Kendrick, keep supporting the real, keep supporting independent artists. Don't let dudes like Black Youngster, don't let niggas like that distract you.
I actually fuck with Black Youngster though.
Me too.
Anybody,
do
anybody have an artist? Do they feel that they are? Like you feel a little guilty that you like them? Like why the fuck do I like this shit? Like an ignorant artist. You got that one ignorant artist you like.
My
shit.
favorite artist is dead.
I love
Swipey.
See, somebody got a
Swipey,
21.
My favorite artist is
Let me
dead.
tell you
Mine is
something.
Boosie. Like
Nah, Swipey. I'm gonna tell you something. I wasn't hip on Swipey when he was alive, but I was riding with
That's how
Tripp
we
one
was in
day, yeah, and we was in the zone, and this nigga played Swipey, and I saw every young nigga from fucking DC I just saw it. And what I realized in that moment was that motherfucker was the voice of them young dudes. He was the voice of the youth. And you can listen to the music and you can just see them niggas on the metro like, y'all don't ride, remember, give me the gin. Remember, hey, the nigga, and he was flowing. Like he had dope beats. Swipey actually, so rest in peace, man, because he was about to be the next hot thing coming out.
Yeah,
of
I was about to say he was the next one about to take off.
The nigga was
He
like
was.
that. Shout out to Light Show, because Light Show still got some good shit coming.
Light Show be cranking.
Light Show got some good shit too, man. He's the voice of the young people in DC too. But Swipey, man,
Swipey just was it.
He just was it,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
he
yeah.
had it.
I think all them niggas must have had him killed or something. Like he was it.
He was fucking.
He was it.
Dog.
Hey man, we ain't had nobody call in all night, man. Sherrod, where your big nose ass at? You big nose bastard.
Well,
hey, Daryl,
most real
quick.
niggas
They
don't
say
got-
you ain't getting no pussy. You ain't gonna call in and talk back to these dudes, man. What's up,
Shout
man?
out to our audience. Most real niggas don't got computers. They all watching on their phone, so they can't
Yeah,
watch
niggas
the
like
show
this.
and
So
call
you
in.
gotta
at
make
the
a
same
choice.
time.
You gotta make a choice.
Niggas don't
plumber
even got
truck.
house phones no more. So shout out to y'all just tuning in, whatever. We gonna work out that call in thing.
Somebody call in, man.
We had a Skype up next.
Call
No
in.
bullshit.
202-986-3624.
Damn. Hey, bro.
Ain't nobody calling. Dude.
Pussy.
Do we want to go over that black feminist thing before we get out here? Or we not
I
gonna.
mean, we
mess
can
with
do
it?
it. We can do it. We can
Scared?
do it. We can do it.
I want to hear Maria's take on this.
First of all, like I said, shout out to Ebony, Essence, The Root, all them type publications, right? Article after article, and black feminists after feminists, and some of these people I love. I got a really close friend. My sister is technically a black feminist.
But
I don't understand y'all's mindset on this whole situation we in, because it seems that all y'all do is bash black men when it comes to your feminist stance, and I shouldn't even say black feminism, because now they're calling themselves intersectional feminists.
they were born that way.
Which right, which means like it's just women of all colors and all that shit together. But like, I didn't see none of these hoes out here riding for Sandra Bland. I didn't see none of these other ethnicities of hoes out here riding for the chick that got her ass beat on the side of the road by that state trooper.
I saw this.
Like, where
the
the
little,
fuck
the
are they
little
then?
girl that got her arm broke in school.
Or the little girl got shot when the
Little
police kicked on the door and killed her.
Yeah, for all you black feminists out there,
Where y'all at?
really examine what you're doing.
Where y'all at?
If your feminism is tied to white supremacy, which white feminism is tied to white supremacy, you need to make that distinction. If you're gonna be for black women, be for black women. Say I'm
And
for
black men. I feel like it
I'm saying,
shouldn't
I'm
be
just saying in
My
terms
thing
of
is,
the
why be
women.
for black
it
women?
shouldn't be
Why be only
a
for black
divide.
women? You could have a black son.
Right.
You're not for him? Like, what the fuck
My
you talking
thing
about?
is,
That's kind of like the all lives matter thing. You say it that way.
Yeah, pretty much.
They separate.
Let's hit a black.
like,
let's hit a
for
black
me,
woman.
I
Yeah.
feel like this whole little black feminists and all. Hey, wait,
shit.
you got a call
shit.
right
So
before
we
I
said
get to
black
my thought.
feminists.
I know, right? Just stop. Put it on speaker.
Somebody calling in.
Yeah.
Straight talk, no chase. How can we help you?
Yes, this is Tracy Delgado. I'm in your feed right now.
Hey, how you
Hey
doing?
Tracy.
I'm okay, and you?
Oh, we great. We good. How you doing, Mom?
Okay, I wanted to speak on the black feminist thing.
Okay, go ahead.
What most black women don't understand is that this was a white women's movement, and they needed us to build their numbers to get their agenda across. It's the same thing now. It was the same thing then, and it's never going to change. And our people need to stop jumping on the bandwagon of always trying to include themselves with the white agenda. That's our problem.
I totally agree.
I agree.
Because it's not my problem.
I completely agree.
Drop a bomb on that shit.
Yes.
Please. Maria, you get a complimentary bomb for that.
I know, right? No, I totally agree.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Maria.
you,
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
I mean, what's her name?
Tracy.
Tracy. I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank
you,
Totally-
Maria.
totally-
Thank you
I'm
for
about to say,
calling,
wait a
Tracy.
minute.
We're doing the
Thank
hood
you.
style today.
Look,
The Skype will be up next week.
I totally,
We on speakerphone this week.
totally agree with her. I feel like that's just another mass to divide us as black people, black women from black men. I feel like, if anything, if we really like dissect that us as women, black women, we are here to support the black man and not, separate ourselves from him.
Straight talk, no chase. How can we help you?
Peace, gang, peace. What's going on? I'm Brother Dwayne. I'm in the feed.
How you doing, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Dwayne.
I'm thankful, bro. I'm thankful. How y'all feeling?
Good.
Chilling.
Yo, I really like like the show, man. I really like the show, man. This shit is dope.
Please, man, like and share, like and share.
Yeah, I definitely shared it. I'm already on it, fam. I'm already on it.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, but I was listening and y'all was talking about the feminism thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I really don't agree with the feminism, but I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because as a youngin', you know what I mean, I did my share of dirt with women. You know what I'm saying? And I guess they gravitated towards that European agenda because many of our women are hurt because of us.
Yeah. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So like because of our laws and because of how we treated them, you know what I'm saying, even through our young days, and we was indoctrinated into that form of thinking, you know what I'm saying, by the European agenda that they was pushing out. Mm-hmm. So in the society we live in with the whole, over-sexualized society and shit. But we did that to our women, so now it's up to us to rectify with our women.
That's a fact. That's a fact, bro.
I agree with you.
Thank you very much.
That was a great point of view.
Yeah, he had a great point of view, and I actually had a conversation with my wife about this earlier because she basically said women are hurt, women need healing. So it's like it's not the fact that black feminists are what she said. She's not a black feminist for the record, but she feels like they're not against black men. But they're so hurt that who do they direct their pain to? But what I was trying to tell her was, we've been pit against each other purposely. So, and the black feminist doesn't do nothing but put a microscope on our being pitted against each other. And we have to, as a people, come together, male and female, young and old, light skin, dark skin. Our dynamic is the black family. If you agree with anything African, you have to agree with the black family. And as long as they keep us divided, and the feminist movement is a very huge part of that, keeps us divided. And we need to fucking sit down somehow and just dead all that shit and move forward.
I think,
I agree with
shout out to Frances Cress Wells, and she gives this theory a lot that the black man has been economically castrated. So the only way we can show our power in our community is through sex. We can dominate a woman. We can trick a woman, but we don't have true power. That's the only way we can express it. So I think, like you said, we got to go through self-examination, and the people who are in a position to help brothers out, help them realize what we going through. Like, you don't have to use your woman to feel strong. Like, the black woman is the most loyal woman in the world. If you treat her right, if you ride for her, she'll kill something for you.
She will.
Straight up.
That's why they listen. Imagine a world like this, right? When niggas really had financial and political power,
we was there,
and we could bang chicks out, right? It would be unfair.
It'd be unfair, man.
They saw
that. We would rule the world. It would. Honestly, you know what? It probably wouldn't be no more white people.
Fuck them out.
Literally wouldn't be no more white. We wouldn't be no more white. Wouldn't be no more white people.
That's why their gun is an extension of their penis.
That's another Francis, Cress Wells, and
that's why white supremacy is alive and well.
But let me tell you this though, on the black feminist movement and our separation, and shout out to Tracy in the chat that just called in. She makes a good point. Our men need healing too. Like, a lot of that stuff, like Brother Dwayne was talking about, we didn't even realize that we smashing all these chicks, that's a form of conditioning on our own behalf. Like, we need healing, bro. Like, the women and the men need healing. So the fact that we have a movement that's separating us, we all need healing, man. Like, shout out to Queen of Fool, man, because I'm on week 3 of her A Man Heal Thyself, because I realize there's some areas that I need, and I think every black man at least should pay attention to Man Heal Thyself from Queen of Four, and women should really pay attention to the sacred woman. And she really breaks down what we need as men and what we need as women, and how we can come together as a whole. Because we all need healing. That's it.
Why y'all never talk shit to him when he get his whole theory out? Y'all let that nigga ride all the time.
Dan be smooth with it. Dan be smooth.
You remember what we did to him on the religion show? That was just bad.
That was horrible.
Hey,
try to find it, you won't.
But that's why I feel like
I can find it.
It's all gonna come back to media, right? As black men, we gotta raise up people like Kendrick Lamar. We gotta raise up people like J. Cole. We even gotta raise up, for real, like Issa and Insecure and all these things that give the whole black perspective. Cause right now,
Dog.
our kids, they just getting fed that one thing: get rich, get a Benz,
And
get
get
a
a
bad
bitch.
bitch. Shout out to
Instagram
Benzes
model.
and bad women. I had it. That ain't the end of it.
Can I
That's
tell
not
you?
the end of
Can
it.
I tell you how good it feels to actually turn on the TV and actually see black TV shows now? It feels good, man.
I love Blackish. Y'all go watch Blackish.
Straight talk, no chase. You're live.
And keep it brief. We got 4 minutes left.
Oh, it's Big Nose ass called
Let me
in.
get some value,
It's
Mike.
Sherrod.
Who this?
Right, well, what's going on, man? Y'all having an awesome conversation. I thought I'd chime in on.
That's what's up. Hey, look, man, don't fry us for the phone to the microphone, bro. It is what it is. That's just what we working with this week. Next week.
And we keep it gully. Yeah.
I wanted to touch base on what Dan was talking about, cause like me and my wife had that same conversation as far as like the whole feminist thing, and like I think like that's like the ace in the hole right now. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
As far as like the black woman is so dominant right now, like she's bringing in the bread right now, and you know, how do you come to a woman that she's bringing in the bread? She's got her own, you know what I'm saying, her car bigger than yours, you know what I mean? And you coming to the table with, you know, less, you know what I mean? So
Plus kids.
Become more attractive, you know what I mean? And then you got this, you know, this white guy that he's trust fund, you know, he came from private school and all that. Like, how do you compete with that? Because nowadays they want somebody to be on that same level. But I feel like that's the ace in the hole, because us black guys, black men, we were bred to be survivors. Like, we use our hands. Like, we're great with our hands. We can feed our family from the ground. So I feel like they took that away from us in schools. Like, they don't teach that no more in the schools. Like, I teach my son, like I do HVAC, so my son knows how to solder, you know what I'm saying? He knows about pipes, and he knows about the ruler and measurements and stuff like that. I think we need to like mold our kids back to being self-sufficient instead of calling a plumber and being able to fix something, you know.
Definitely.
We can fix it, you know what I mean?
So look, hey, we got limited time left, but you got to wrap this up, Sherrod.
Oh, my bad. All right, Hulk Hogan. All right.
Hey, look.
Hey, drop a bomb on that motherfucker. That was
Oh shit.
Hey, Rod.
Hey, I got you. I got you too, man. I got you.
Anybody want to answer that really quickly?
Yeah, I'll answer that really quickly. Know who you are, know thyself. For when I came to this situation, my wife was kicked up when I came to this situation. I had nothing but debt, 2 kids, and I was living in my mother's house. But I know who I was, and she saw greatness and she saw my potential.
We're not defined by material things as men.
You gotta know who you are.
Your women need your emotional support and protection before they need a ride and taking out to dinner.
That's right.
Square that up, and you be all right.
Boom.
I would say this, man. Bottom line is, a woman know a real one when she see one. Yes, our women are in a better position than us, but we have to use that to our advantage. We have to work together. You know what I mean? At this point, it's not even about what I got over what this nigga got.
You gotta cut the ego.
I definitely agree. You should at least get a decent nigga, even if he don't got as much money as you. Like, if he's doing decent, he can hold his shit down.
Treat you well.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, get together and you know, raise a son that's going to be out here doing it like that.
Or daughter.
You know, yeah,
Or
right.
daughter.
Both.
Children.
Right.
You know.
But that's what we can do. We can get together with like-minded people and we
balance
can,
each
we can
other
push this
out.
culture forward.
And
That's what we can do.
It's more important to have a loving environment for your family than things. People in third world countries don't got shit, but they produce great, loving families, children's future leaders because they together and they love each other.
Here we go.
Quick final thoughts.
Final thoughts. We're gonna start.
Maria.
Mastermind.
Mastermind.
Oh shit.
He tried to throw one in. I was born this way.
Yo, you need to shave it. Tomorrow you gotta shave that shit off.
Yeah,
bro.
I do. I gotta shave it. I'm sweating like a motherfucker in this hot ass joint too. God damn. But yeah, go ahead. Ladies first.
Really? Final thoughts. I don't know. This was a great conversation. Claps to everybody in the room because we had a really good
This was
conversation.
nice.
Shout out to everybody that's watching us Facebook Live. This was dope.
Get the bombs ready, Mike. Get the bombs ready.
We did numbers.
Mike sleep like a motherfucker. High in the
Y'all
corner.
make sure y'all catch us next week. Look, same time, same place. My final thought.
Facts already.
My final thoughts is this. At the end of the day, no matter how you look at it, scientific or not, a boy is a boy. And a girl
Drop that
is
bomb.
a girl.
Drop that motherfucking bomb.
Hey, he been holding that one all night. He been holding that one.
All right, so, and then when they come together, and when they get older, as men and women, you know, at the end of the day, they got to support each other, you know, and that's how we're going to build and move forward as one unit, one whole, you know, community in all ways, you know, so.
I like how you brought that back right there. I like that.
Shout out to already, man. He stayed in his seat today. CJ, what's cracking?
My final thoughts is I just feel like we gotta know what we're looking at.
Yeah.
When we see with this entertainment, when we see it's entertainment, like even we know I watch Power and Game of Thrones, that's it. But we gotta we gotta know we gotta know what we're looking at though. We gotta like look at little agenda pushes they do, you know what I mean? Instead of just watching this entertainment, because some of the shit is just be blatant, and I don't be entertained no more. I'll be like, look at the shit they trying to sell.
Yeah.
So, look at what we. I just like everybody just look at know what you looking at. Yeah.
My bad. I don't want to get flagged.
Shout out to Stan Lee. Yeah, I watch Marvel movies. Stan Lee, keep it real.
Mr. Let's Talk Real.
Hey man, I enjoyed the conversation. I love talking with you brothers, man. And I'm going to continue to keep.
Me. Hello, I am a female.
She is. She was
She
born in
definitely is a female.
Hold up. You know how he thinks. You know, he's like, well, are you a female? Because, like, technically in my book, you know.
Google that shit.
Shout out to the whole cast of Straight Talk. I enjoy, man, having these conversations. I enjoy having these conversations because these are the tough conversations we have to have as a community to move forward. Stop talking about trash TV. Stop talking about sports. Talk about something that's going to get you some money or get you about your situation.
Oh, man. Koosta, what you got?
I'm high.
Wow.
What's new?
Nothing.
Juiceman Clean, Mr. Clean Dan.
Mr. Clean will clean your home.
Look like a melted
Uncle
milk
Dad.
dub,
That's
boy.
what you look like, Uncle Dad.
Motherfucker look like Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
I'm like Elmer Fudd. You ain't.
My final thoughts is always.
Look like, hey, what's the nigga that was in the
That nigga like Marvin Hagler.
The dude, the black dude that was in them jet fighter movies in the early 90s.
Billy Blanks.
No. What was his name, man? What was his name?
Damn, Billy Blank.
Billy Blanks.
Hey, look. I wasn't here last week when Piggy was here. I was like, dog, I know they want to fire me up right now.
Oh, my God. Everybody was high, too. Except me.
Except for me. I
wasn't high either.
Not I, Sillicut.
Nah, my final thoughts is always, man, know yourself, know your worth, watch what you put in your body, be whole, be yourself, be well, be natural.
You just quoted Drake line?
Yeah, his line.
Do right and kill everything.
That's it, man.
All right, cut that shit, DJ.
Can I get my final?
Oh, damn, I thought you did.
Jesus, fucking Jiminy Cricket.
Uh-oh.
So look.
I don't like mulattoes.
So look, my final thoughts of this, man. We've had a great night, great conversation. Once again, our goal is just to push the culture forward. So everybody out there listening tonight, just remember, we ain't never gonna be shit unless we be shit.
Oh, man.
Nah, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
That was actually profound.
Do and be.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to do it to be it. You can't sit around pondering all day wondering. Because whatever move you make, you're going to have to get backlash from the opposition.
And
you know what I'm saying?
With that.
You're going to get backlash from the opposition. So it's all about the smartest way to get it and the smartest way to give it. This is straight talk, no chase.
Yes.
We out of this hoe.
Bye.
Bye.